That's a wide body beat.
Yo, 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 Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your host, CJ. What's going on with you, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling on this lovely Saturday morning? Slightly past 10:30 a.m. My bad. Um, Thinking about something at the last minute, trying to put it up here on the screen. So my deepest apologies. But we here, y'all, and I thank everybody for joining me. All right, so today we're going to have our preview of the Carolina Panthers versus the Miami Dolphins here in Charlotte at the bank. Okay. And just like the title says right here, week 5, can Carolina get right? Okay. Can they get right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. And first of all, let me go ahead and not necessarily get this out of the way. Okay. But let me go ahead and say thank you to everybody that's joined. Thank you to all of the members of the front office, Armchair GM CJ YouTube channel. Okay. I appreciate all the love and support. So I want to say big thank you to all of you all who are members, whether you have been whether you re-upped your membership or whether you have been gifted a membership. I thank you anyway, and I thank everybody who has gifted somebody else a membership to the channel. Okay, I thank everybody. I love and appreciate all the support. All right. Okay, and before we get going here, I want to tell y'all this as well. Okay, still have the 2 tickets for tomorrow's game, for the Miami game. And kind of one of them situations where you try something, don't really work out, so you kind of bring it back to where it all started from. So I do have another tier on the YouTube membership. I'm kind of done with Patreon. All right, tried it, ain't really like it. I'm gonna let it go. All right. So we're gonna do this one of two ways. Okay, you can join the YouTube tier. The membership tier is called Code GM, just like it was on Patreon. Okay, and I got 2 giveaways this month. One for this game tomorrow, and one for the Buffalo Bills game at the end of the month. Okay, so if you enter on the YouTube channel, you'll be entered to win this one today, and you'll be entered to win the one for the Buffalo game when we do the preview of the Buffalo game in a few weeks. Okay, so you can join that tier, or if you just want to win tickets to this game, okay, right here at Armchair GMCJ, that is my Cash App. Okay, you just send me $10 to the Cash App, and I will put your name here on the wheel of names, and we'll get a spin going later on to see who wins the tickets. Okay, you can either join the co-GM tier on the YouTube membership, not Patreon, YouTube membership. It is up there, or you can send $10 to the Cash App at Armchair GMCJ, and that will get you entered to win today's ticket. The Cash App is just for the day. If you do the membership on the co-GM membership, you will get entry into ticket giveaway for the day and later on in the month when the Buffalo Bills come to town. All right. The see the Cowboys game. Okay, the Cowboys game is a no-go. Cowboy game is no-go. So we're gonna do the Bills and the Dolphins this month. All right. So cool. Okay, hey, and real quick, and shout out to Nick, the Prowling Veteran Podcast, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you, my good sir. Thank you. Welcome to Coach GM. All right. All right. So let me get back and make sure I ain't miss nobody's comments here. Mr. Earl, what's going on with you? How you doing, sir? Good morning. Nick said, what's up? What's going on, Nick? JJ Blackshear, what's going on with you, big dog? How you doing? CJ must be out here numbering the blades of grass in his yards. He is meticulous. Man, let me tell you, I am. God, where's Janelle at? She need to make a comment. I am the opposite of meticulous. Let me see. I'm just like, man, hell, that's enough. Shit, it'll be all right. But I appreciate you, dig it. Let me see. Can Bryce get right? He better. He better. He better get right, or he gonna have to get up out of here, man. But we're gonna talk about that in a little bit here too. Ken 88, what's going on with you? Good morning, CJ. Can't wait to see what you got planned today. Well, I ain't got a whole lot. I ain't got a whole lot. But we're gonna get into some subjects here. And it's funny, I didn't do any slides for this for this episode either. I figure I just get up here and talk about some subjects, especially some ones that I put on TikTok and out on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram this week. All right. But I appreciate you, Ken. Let me see. Diggy said Miami could be more get right game for the Panthers. I hope so. I hope so. Pop in. What's going on with you, man? Popping Bulls. What's going on with you, big dog? Palmetto Panther. What's good, man? How you doing? Good morning. Oh, my favorite Falcon Panther, Mr. Blue Swarm. What's up, Red? Say, yo, CJ, what's good, third cousin? Looking forward to seeing the Panthers matched up against those Miami Dolphins. I know you are. You looking for us to lose, Red. It's all good. It's all good. I feel you. I look forward to the musty pigeons losing every week too. So I feel you. They said gently rub that like and sub button for CJ. Yes, appreciate you. Oh yeah, if those of you that are here, thank you. All right, on your way in, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. All right, I'm about let me see, 81 subscribers away from 2,000. All right, that is my next goal, 2,000 subscribers. So if you haven't, please hit that like and subscribe button, and whatever platform you're watching on, like and follow as well over there. I appreciate all the love and support as always. All right. Mr. Earl said, "What's good, Red Swarm?" Hey, Mr. E, what's going on with you, man? How you doing, sir? All right, and just to give everybody an update on my neighbor, Mr. Evans, he's up, he's doing good. He's currently in rehab, working to get his way back over here across the street from us. So, good morning, Mr. E. Love you, big dog, and hope to see you back here pretty soon. All right. But yes, but good morning, Mr. Evans, man. Let me tell you, that's a we went to see him the other night. Let me tell you, I gave him a fist bump. I looked at him. I said, "Hey," I said, "Don't you ever do that again." All right. Nate, is there any hope for tomorrow? There's always hope, but it's just a matter if they're going to go out there and do it. You know what I mean? And hell, I mean, like Dave Canales said, execution, execution. So, don't ruin the yard illusions. Man, let me tell you, I have been fighting, not really fighting with my son all summer. When I tell you my son is he is X's and O's, like in or out, up or down, left or right. So I told him at the beginning of the spring, I was like, okay, cool. I said, so you gonna cut the yard this summer for me, all right? I said, cut it once a week. And so I shouldn't have said the word summer, because the first day of fall came, he comes running upstairs, Daddy, Daddy. So I'm done, right? And I'm like, what do you mean done? I'm done with the yard, right? No, but you said summer. It's just the first day of fall. I said, boy, if you don't get your ass out of my room and go cut that damn grass. But yeah, so I had to tell them that, okay, look, when I say cut the grass, you cut the grass until I tell you you don't have to cut the grass anymore. You know, and like I said, I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, but Diggett's comment made me remember all that. Appreciate you, Diggett. Palmetto Panthers. If we can't take care of the Dolphins at home without Hill, and Evero needs to be fired immediately after the game. We're going to get into that as well. That will be all for Bryce. Time to move on. QJ Smith. Rest in peace, Kyron Lacey. The kid was falsely accused of a crime he didn't commit. The public backlash caused mental self-destruction. Heart goes out to his family. Yes, and if y'all haven't heard, his lawyers provided video evidence that said that he was like 72 point something yards away from the accident that he was accused of causing. Okay, and somebody was fatally killed in the accident. And while the case was waiting to go to trial, Kyron Lacey did commit suicide. Okay. And again, like QJ said, my heart goes out to his family as well. And I will also say this to anybody: if you ever in that situation, hold on, hang tight, don't give up hope, and see how things play out. But we don't know exactly what this kid's mental state was, how he was feeling, what else was going on in his life. But yeah, it's sad. It's very sad, and it's sad that he's not here to get his vindication, get his justice, for something that he was accused of and he didn't do. All right. Well, appreciate that comment, QJ, man. And what's good with you this morning? My favorite Panther Pope, Bishop Pterodactyl. What's up? Well, what's up, Bishop Snuffleupagus? How you doing there, buddy? Bishop Velociraptor. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll be Velociraptor, Tyrannosaurus Rex, all good. Tip Drill Will, what's going on with you, man? How you doing? Keep parent CJ. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. The proud vet Nick say you good. Red, you good. Oh, Mr. E said be home Tuesday. That's what's up. That's what's up. Look, call me. Let me know, man. You want me to throw out the red carpet? Throw some balloons up or something, man. Let me know what you need. Let me see. Q said, okay, same thing. Said the media needs to be held accountable for judging someone without having evidence. Yes, facts, facts. But that's another topic for another day. But I feel you, QJ. Let me see. Rock Jones, what's going on with you? Said good morning, cousin. QJ said I saw some of all 22 of the game. Bryce is definitely getting too much heat. Jimmy Horn Jr. will give this offense a spark that we needed. Um, okay. Now I will say this: Bryce is getting heat, but the thing that's bothering me with Bryce is the plays that he is protected in the pocket, and he doesn't have any, any pressure on him, and he's throwing up these just lame duck passes. You know what I mean? And I'll get into a couple of them as well here in a second. But I agree with you, QJ. He is getting a lot of heat, and the thing about Jimmy Horn, okay, I'm not sold on Jimmy Horn, not because of Jimmy Horn, all right, not because of Jimmy Horn. I kind of feel like Jimmy Horn, Dave might be tired of hearing about Jimmy Horn, and it's like he was forced to put Jimmy Horn in because injuries at the wide receiver spot. But is it going to be one of these things where he puts Jimmy Horn in and uses Jimmy Horn, or Jimmy Horn just suits up and sits on the sideline, kind of like Bobby Brown III, okay? Who I think is probably one of our better run stoppers in the plays that he is in the game, but he's only in the game for a handful of plays. That's my thing. Do they bring Jimmy Horn in this week and actually play him and make him a part of the offense? You know what I mean? Or do they suit him up and sit him on the sideline because they need a wide receiver, but Dave still isn't ready, or he still thinks that Jimmy isn't ready for this offense? So we'll see. We'll see. Let me see. Rest in peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. CJ, I do see this as a favorable matchup for y'all. Yeah, yeah. It looks that way on paper. You know what I mean? And I got some stats here. And you know what? And let me do this. Let me drop the link right here. If anybody wants to join, all right, y'all come up here and kick it with your boy. All right. And what I'm going to do, I am going to pin this at the top of the chat in YouTube. All right. So it should be up there on your screen no matter what. If y'all want to jump in and kick it with me on some of these topics. But let me go through this real quick. All right, here we go. All right, Nick, what's going on with you, big dog?
Nothing much, man. I'm joining, come support the content, man. Can't stay up here for
Hey,
long. My kid got
appreciate you.
soccer game today. I'm out here.
Ah,
I'm
shoot.
out here.
My,
I'm out here
I'm
in
about to
these
start
streets.
volleyball season with mine here next week.
Yeah, look, I'm out here in these streets getting because they didn't have nobody to provide snacks for the kids. I'm out here in these streets getting
Oh,
snacks already.
I hear you. Hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. That's what's up. But Nick, I'm gonna get into some stats here. Because Red said he does see us have a favorable matchup.
It is a
Okay,
favorable
so
matchup. Last week's
it
was a
it, it
favorable matchup too, but
yes,
we saw what
it was.
happened.
We saw what happened. Okay, so total defense. All right, Miami is ranked 26. We're ranked 19th. Passing yards. For defense, that's passing yards. Miami is ranked 20th. And surprisingly, the Carolina Panthers are ranked 10th. Okay, we are ranked in the top 10 in passing yards. Okay, you must be a Bojangles. Let me tell you, I recognize them new automated voices anywhere. Hey, what's going on with you, Will? How you doing, there, big dog?
Hey guys, how y'all guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. running off some stats here real quick. Like I was saying, the Dolphins defense is ranked 20th in passing yards. Panthers defense is ranked number 10 against the run. The Dolphins are ranked number 30. Okay, and guess what? The Panthers are not that far down there with them. We're ranked number 23. All right, and a lot of that was the Jacksonville game. The Panthers have been, I would say, pretty stout against the run since then. Okay. All right. And before I welcome everybody's favorite sticky finger Bishop, let me go over the offensive stats. All right. So total offense, Miami's ranked 26th. And the crazy thing is the offense is not far off at all from the Panthers and the Dolphins. Miami total offense ranked 26th. Panthers are ranked 24. All right. Passing yards, the Panthers are ranked 21st. Dolphins are ranked 22nd. Rush yards, the Panthers are ranked 26th. The Dolphins are ranked 27th. It's crazy. And I look at the stats and I'm like, well, damn, who is this a favorable matchup for though? I think we can say it's a favorable matchup for us. I think Dolphins fans would be like, well, hell, this is a favorable matchup for them too, even without Tyreek. Okay. But everybody, welcome to the stage. Bishop Bowberry Biscuit, Panther Prime Podcast. How you doing there, big dog?
Hey, have you tried the Bowberry Shake yet?
No, I'm not a fan of Bowberry anything.
Okay, well, you're missing out. You're doing yourself a disservice right now.
I am not a fan of Bowberry. Let me tell you, they got the pork chop griller back right now, bruh. That's got to be my favorite sandwich at Bojangles, and I hate that it's something that they bring and then get rid of and then bring it back. Like, put it on the menu and let it stay there. That's my joint right there.
No, they want you mad, Bishop Pterodactyl Arms. Yeah, they want you mad. What's up, Gas Tank? What's up, Will? How you doing?
Gas Tank.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, man. I'm just excited to be here, man.
Gas Tank.
Yeah. Howard called him that. Say,
oh, wow.
Hey, Prime.
Yo.
Hey, I just want to jab at you real quick. Shaq Thompson is rated one of the top best linebackers in football right now.
Well,
just so you know.
Podcast. I'd kick you off right now. You say Shaq Thompson.
But he is, though, Prime. He is, if I'm not mistaken, he's got a pass coverage rating on PFF in the 90s, dog.
Yeah, so grateful to have other people around him doing good work too. Yeah, and he's not injured.
Okay. Well, hey, Will, if you want to really get him riled up, just say Blackshear. He might jump off the stage if you say Blackshear.
Yeah, y'all wish I had Blackshear though. I tell you that much.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I thought about that the other day.
I know you did.
I swear I did. I was like, yo. I said, we having so much trouble.
Big mouth.
Well, ETN is back there, having a little bit of trouble with these kickoffs and stuff. And I was like, damn. I said, Blackshear was back there. He was just fine. We didn't have none of these troubles. But I digress. I digress. I'm not going to give Bishop Bowberry any more ammo. What's up, Nick?
Hey, let me say this, man. A lot of people have been throwing these names out here that are no longer Panthers. To say that look what they doing. Y'all was talking about get rid of them. Hey, when you got a better team around you and you are just a normal guy, you can still do better.
Facts.
Hold on. Oh, Nick, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Let me counter that. Let me throw out a name to you.
I know the name you about to say.
Field goal, Eddie Pinero.
But
that's all that's good. Eddie, I almost cussed, man.
Eddie got lucky. Eddie. Hey, the sun shine on a dog ass once a day, bro. Come on now.
He had to go to Cali to drop his draws to get the sun to shine on. There's plenty of sun.
Listen. Go ahead, Will.
Hey, all I got to say is you are right to clearly point out when you got a better roster around you. That's what I was getting at, is if we develop the roster, then the players that we blame for everything may not be the
Would have been
problem.
fine. It would have been
May
fine.
may not be the problem. So it's the organization, not that individual player. Now Shaq was injured quite a bit, but
A
Yeah,
lot,
that's
yeah. What back
a
to
lot.
back
yeah,
seasons?
right. But I
Yeah.
mean,
So
you
look,
can't
look,
help it
look.
because he
That's
had a
all I'm
broken
saying,
leg.
man. Look, that's all I'm saying, man. Like at the end of the day, what we have to really point these fingers at is we have had some horrible GMing the last
Ooh,
5,
Jesus.
6, 7, 8, 9 years, bro. Maybe 15 years, man. Because we get players that don't like who remember we picked Vernon Butler in the first round.
Oh yeah,
Oh
Oh, I
Where
God.
he at?
remember. I
Where is he
remember.
at?
yeah. He
I
played
Hey,
Not in the
remember.
quite a bit,
NFL.
making big
we
money.
Not
had
in the
bad
NFL.
we had
Yeah.
bad GM play. We had bad GMs even during the Cam era.
Yes, dude.
Huh.
With
People
what we
forget
Yeah.
that.
had with Cam, if somebody had put a offensive line and got him one competent weapon, other than because CMC came at the end, uh, DJ
Talking
came
about
at the
deep.
end. All the, like if
Yeah.
you had all of that stuff, if you had
I
some
mean, he
stuff
had
like
he
that
had Greg
at
Olson
the
though. He had Greg.
Greg, one dude, a tight end. I,
That's
I
You talking about
that's
still
a slot.
listen.
offense?
This the crazy part about it is, Param. I still struggle to figure out how Greg used to get wide open because that dude was slower than molasses.
Bro, because he understood spacing. That's why.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was
Hmm.
that
Yes.
was that was.
Greg.
Look, them was he would be wide open in the middle of the field. I'm like,
But
what?
that's the
Like,
thing though. Greg will go find the hole in the zone and do what he was
and just
supposed to
sit
do,
down.
turn around, and he
Facts.
would make himself visible for Cam. If Cam was sliding out the pocket, he'd go with Cam and he would be there, and
Mm-hmm.
available.
Yeah,
That's the thing,
that
and
was the
that's
that
what
was the
we
thing
are.
about it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, and
Imagine,
real quick.
imagine
Hold
this.
on, Nick. Hold on, Nick. Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Real quick. Let me welcome important person to the stage here. If you remember, straight out of the 70s, that couch that your parents said you better not sit your black ass on. All right. Welcome, the couch scout extraordinaire, Mr. Blue Velvet himself, cousin Tony. How you doing, sir?
Yeah,
What's up,
what's
Tony?
going on? What's going
Brother,
What's
brother,
up, Tony?
brother, brother, sheep hair.
Man,
Brother,
I
sheep
can't
hair.
call it. I can't call it. What's going on,
That's
fellas?
one.
Hey,
That's one heck of an intro
I
right
do.
there.
Listen, listen. You only talk like that about your cousin, so I knew it was Tony as soon as he started
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, he give me every time, dog.
Hey, let me tell you,
Listen,
I've been
hey,
thinking about that joint. But I'm like, how can I make this better this week?
yeah.
I
Oh man.
apologize
Hey,
for the late entry, man. I was
oh, you good?
working on the project, me and the wife, so time got
Oh,
lost for a
that's the
minute.
code word now.
Yeah, that's the code word
Project. I
now.
hear you, boy.
He's working on a
I hear you,
project.
boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's working on a project. She slicked my hair back real quick.
That's that new code word.
Hey, go ahead, Nick. You was trying to make a point real quick. Go ahead, man. I know you on
Yeah, man.
limited
I was
time
just
here.
saying, man. Like we have had such bad luck with GMs, man. And I know everybody giving Dan a lot of grief right now, but at the end of the day, I think Dan has one thing. Injuries can't be helped. Injuries can't be helped.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I feel like Dan has done that none of the other GMs in the last 10 years have done is try to get this offensive line and the defensive line straight. Okay, it ain't perfect right now. And for all those people say, "Oh yeah, he should have picked your boy from Georgia in the first round." What is he doing on the defensive line?
You talking about
I
Dan?
told y'all, I told y'all Jalen Walker is going to be a middle linebacker in the NFL after this season. After this season.
Mm-hmm.
James Pierce has been the better pick in the first round for the Falcons.
I can
Well,
agree
well,
with
well,
that.
well,
I
hold, well,
like J-
hold on, Nick. Hold on, Nick. It is still early. It's only 4 games in. Like, and listen, I'm doing the same thing for Scorton and for Princely right now. It's 4 games
yeah.
in. You
Yeah. You gotta wait till I think
gotta
those guys
wait.
got to develop a little bit.
Yeah,
I think, and I think the only way they're going to get better is to go ahead and put them on the field. I think we gotta stop hiding some of our rookies because I think it sets them back. And I think that one thing I'm gonna say this right now. There's absolutely no reason DJ Johnson should have been on the field last week. You
Oh,
shouldn't have had to cut
absolutely, bro.
DJ Johnson.
Absolutely, bro.
You shouldn't have to cut DJ Johnson because of his poor performance when you had a rookie that would have probably played better than him.
Bro, listen.
I
I put the post up the other day, man. I said playing DJ Johnson over anybody is malpractice. Shout out Frank Wright. Bro,
Hold on. Okay. Do y'all want to see? Do y'all want to see? Oh, and CJ here said Jalen Walker has the third highest rookie grade, sir, 68.3. Hey, but
sir.
do y'all want to see? Do y'all want to see the play that probably got DJ Johnson?
Yes. Please show us.
Okay. Hold on. All right, y'all still there? Can y'all still hear me?
Boy, he had this one loaded up.
Yeah, I had
Yes,
this
he
locked
did.
and
He
loaded.
was ready.
Yo, locked and loaded. So this was the play before. They did a jet sweep. They handed it off to number 4 Gibson. I can't remember his first name. Okay. And everybody kind of stayed put on this play for the most part. You know, DJ Johnson and Nick Scourton at the edges, and the linebackers, you know, they were a little bit late to react. Okay. So on here, they ran it again, but they ran it as a fake. Okay. And y'all see DJ Johnson on the screen right here on the right-hand side. Let me tell you, if nothing else, this was the play that got DJ Johnson done in Carolina. All right. So, all right.
Tony, I want to ask you a question after
Okay.
this.
So see right here, they faking the jet sweep. Look at DJ Johnson. Look where he ends up at. He is right there. That tight end comes around to get a block. Mind you, he doesn't even have to block DJ Johnson's ass. You know, DJ Johnson, he tries to throw a hand at him. Oh, crap. So mind you, the Panthers had numbers on this side of the field because you had Shao Smith-Wade and you had Mike Jack out there. Mike Jack didn't have nobody guarding him right now, trying to block him. So if DJ Johnson would have got his hands and got a block on the tight end right there, you know, we might have had a chance to stop Ramondre Stevenson. But look at Johnson. He chasing the play. Old buddy that he should have picked up or he should have been waiting for goes out and gets daggone Mike Jackson. And then, you know, lo and behold, good old Nick Scott, you know, has
That
to
was
yeah.
that was bad. That was bad technique at its finest.
Dude, that ain't even bad. Listen, let me say this.
Pull
That
up
ain't even
again,
bad
CJ.
technique.
I'm gonna tell you
He
what he should
gave
have
the
did.
edge up.
Hey,
He gave the edge up too fast.
Hey, Tony, wasn't that a 3-4
What?
over that they ran?
Let me see him. Let me see him lined up. They're not in the 3-4
They in that
because there's
4-2-5.
no there's not a nose tackle.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a
They're in that
4-2-5. Look like
4-2-5.
Yeah, it's a 4-2-5.
4-2-5.
And it could be an over because you see 94 Ashawn
4-3
Robinson
over, 4-3
is
Mhm.
it's not even the 4-3 over because you only got 2 linebackers.
Well, what
Yeah.
they is?
I-
I'm
Tony,
trying to
What
tell
they
y'all.
doing?
Listen. Carolina does not run any variation of a 4-3. Everything is based off the premise of a 3-4, but their base defense is a 4-2-5. 4-2-5 nickel, and what they've been running lately, a lot of the time when they put in the third safety, it's a 4-2, it's a dime package. A dime package is having 3 safeties and 3 cornerbacks on the field. This is not a 4-3. You only see 2 inside linebackers. That's all you ever see Carolina run is 2 inside linebackers. The outside linebackers or
Yeah,
your
it's
your
4-2-5.
rush edge. Yeah, that's not a 4-3. That's nowhere near the base of a 4-3. There's a 4-2-5 is their base. They either gonna run the big nickel, or dime out of it.
Yeah, so you either
So
gonna have
what?
you either gonna have an extra safety or you're gonna have an extra cornerback on the field. It just depends on
Right.
who runs your.
And a lot of
It
times
should be what's called on the field all the time. What's his name? Shaw Smith Wade should be on the field all the time.
So is this an over front?
You could say it's over from because Ashawn Robinson is kind of, he's playing the one technique. He's in the A gap. You know what I'm saying? He's in the A gap. Um, um, Derek Brown is playing. It's not even really that's not a 2-eye because he's on the outside shoulder of the guard. So you could basically say he's playing the 3 technique right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just a shade, just a tad bit towards the guard, but he's really playing the three technique. Ashawn Robinson, you can almost say he's playing like a 2-eye because he's playing on the inside shoulder of the guard,
The
but
guard.
he look like he's slightly in between, like playing the 2-eye or the one technique, which is
Yeah.
the eight. But basically, on this front right here, when you got outside contain, so Nick Scorton got the left side, um, DJ Johnson got the right side. You got outside contain, so you should always keep boom right there. When he
Mm-hmm.
saw when go back to the start of the play, CJ, the left tackle when the left tackle does not engage him, his
You should
technique
stay on
should
the
be
outside.
surfing because what that move is letting you know is that something is coming back your way. There's something coming back your way when they're not blocking you and they leaving you unblocked. So now your eyes should go from the left tackle to the quarterback and the running back in the backfield. Whatever's coming his way don't even matter because now your his focus should be taking off the left tackle because the left tackle is down blocking. Now your perception, keeping your shoulder square, outside shoulder available, is seeing what the quarterback and the running back is doing. He bit so hard, he forgot all technique. Everything went out the door. There was no reason for him to chase
Right.
behind that left tackle
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bet. You know what? And I'm glad you said that. Now, mind you, I got another one here. Okay. All right. So now this was the Hunter Henry Hunter. I say Henry. The Hunter Henry touchdown. Okay. where Drake May kind of threw that sidearm pass to him, and then he ran down the field. All right. So I'm gonna let this play real quick. And again, I think it's another situation where DJ Johnson kind of got, out of position a little bit. Okay. And then that was that play. And hold on.
Listen, listen,
Where would DJ
listen.
where was DJ
Hey, let me
Johnson
say
at?
Okay.
this. Hey, let me say this
Go
one
ahead.
thing. So on
Mm-hmm.
that first play, at the end of the day, from what Tony was saying, when that when that lineman didn't engage you, you should go straight up the field, not to the inside.
Okay, well,
Straight
No,
hold
up the
not
on.
field.
Wait,
necessarily.
hold on, y'all. Hold on, hold on.
No.
Hold on. Let me show you this one here. Now, speaking of linemen not engaging, look at 77. Look at 66. The guard and the tackle on the left side here. All right, when this play gets
Okay.
going, look at them. All right, they ain't giving two shits of a concern to DJ Johnson right there. And then watch what he does.
So they running a split zone.
Mm-hmm.
So the split zone is when your offensive linemen are blocking one way, which they were kind of going to the right, and the tight end comes um, back behind them. They call that oh, my phone's ringing. They call that a split zone. So what
Mm-hmm.
also it looks like with that, they look like they were double teaming the guard and the tackle on the left side, and it looks like the guard and center on the right side was double teaming. Let me see. Yeah, the guard and tackle on the left side, and
Everybody on the right picked up one man. The center, guard, and
yeah,
tackle. They picked up I think that's Robinson,
okay,
Incoom, and
yeah.
Trevin
But you
Wallace.
see the center, you see the tight end coming back across the formation. His
Hmm.
job was either he's going to pick up um DJ Johnson if it's a run play, or if it's a pass play, he's gonna run right past him and go into his route.
And yep. And that's what he did. Now, mind you, now let me ask you y'all this right here. Okay, you see Christian Rosewoom right there. He's right above DJ Johnson. Now he
Mhm.
runs right past Hunter Henry, trying to get at Drake May. Mind you, DJ Johnson is behind on the play. Then you got JC Horn who's trying to run across the field here. Let me because see on the start of this, JC Horn is all the way over here in the slot,
Yep.
covering number 18. I forgot what my man's name was.
Who?
No, I said
Number
JC Horn's
18.
on the right side here. I forgot who 18
Oh,
was. But
yeah.
Hey, real quick, Tony, what's this right
Yes,
here?
sir.
Is this another over?
The front.
Yeah.
Let me see. Line it up.
I think they spent.
Pause.
I
Pause
think they
right there.
spent 5.
mhm,
So it's still a 4-man front. You see, Rose Boom. Rose
Mm-hmm.
Boom is mugging. He's mugging the A gap.
Yes, sir.
You see, oh, he's mugging the A. No, he's right over the center. I'm sorry. He's right over the center. Trevin Wallace is mugging the C gap between the tight end and the right tackle. You
Mm-hmm.
see him kind of scoot up a little closer,
Yes, sir.
but
mhm.
still. So what this is it's not even really mugging. It's a simulated pressure. It's a simulated pressure to try to create confusion because the quarterback doesn't know who's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like a fake blitz. So at the snap of the ball, looks like you still only gonna have 4 down linemen rushing.
Gotcha.
Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Hit play here. Okay. So, and like I said, you see JC Horn, he was he's over here, he's pointing. And it looks like I don't know if he was if he was taking the tight end or he thought Rosebone was taking the tight end, but you see JC's trailing, so he's behind. All right. And then like I said, Rosebone just runs past the tight end and tries to get to Drake May. All right.
Mm-hmm.
He needles the ball through him and DJ Johnson, gets it to Hunter Henry. Now this part of the play here, okay, and this is why I've been saying, the title of my recap was undisciplined play. Okay. Now look, now Dave Canales was asked about this play. Look at Shaw Smith Way. Okay. Look at him with that weak ass attempt at a peanut punch. Okay. He said the first man to get to the ball carrier makes the tackle. The second man tries to cause a fumble or a turnover, whatever. All right. My thing is, Shaw Smith Way was the first person to get to Hunter Henry. And then he tries that instead of pushing him out of bounds. Look at JC Horn. Horn turns around and it's like, bruh, what in God's name was that? Let me tell you, Horn was
Now,
pissed at that
if
moment right there.
if I was the coordinator, Shaw Smith Way would have been sitting on the sideline the rest of the game.
Yeah, well, hey, he on
Facts.
the sidelines this week. That joker popped up with what,
A
a foot
phantom
injury or
injury.
something. Yeah.
His
Uh-huh.
chest. Yeah, I
Chest.
saw
That's
that.
it. Chest. Yep. Sure did. Yeah, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, look at JC Horn. JC Horn sitting there looking like, what in the fuck are you doing, bro? Like push push his ass out of bounds.
Right.
Yeah, man.
That's all he had to do. That's
That,
all
that,
he had
that
to
that's
do.
all he had to do. All he had to do. And
Hey,
and I and I
hey,
bring all
so
that up to go ahead, Nick. I'm not sorry, Nick. Will. Go ahead, Will.
yeah, so that goes back to some of the things that I'm thinking, right? This is why
Mm-hmm.
you don't change out coaching staffs so easily, right? Because all of these are teachable, coachable moments, and you have to establish a culture in running any organization that has a desired outcome in hand. That's the reason why when people say, fire the head coach and all that stuff, that's the reason why you get on this perpetual cycle of not building a winning organization and a winning culture. So people go back and I'm going to pick the most extreme from us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin can plug and play anybody from his roster and they understand the intent, the culture, the scheme, and what your assignment is. And if you don't do that assignment, your ass is on the bench. We
Okay. You
gotta,
know
we
what?
gotta,
Yep.
we
Oh,
gotta get that. I'm sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
no. Go ahead and finish. I got something to add on to that when you finish.
That's the only thing that I'm kind of hesitant about when people tell fire the head coach, all this other stuff. I remember year 2 of the Ron Rivera era. I wanted Ron Rivera out of Charlotte because I felt he
Mm-hmm.
didn't care because he never showed emotion on the sideline. Didn't know what he was doing in that locker room, but he was doing something in that damn locker room because 2 years later, 3 years later, we was in the damn Super Bowl.
Yeah. Facts. Hey, and let me add on to that. Do you think that the DJ Johnson move, the decision to release him, is the start uh kind of like the accountability era here in Carolina. Let me say it like that. Because
Yep,
so
I
far we
agree.
have had people just, they're here, and then you get Dave go to the mic every week, and I hate to say this, but he does it. He makes excuses, or he gives roundabout answers to what's going on. His thing. Hold on, who is drinking? Sound like somebody down the 30-gallon Mountain Dew. But 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 is this the start of accountability here in Carolina? Because you get David goes to the microphone and he gives these general answers. It's execution, fundamentals. But my thing is the people that are not executing and not doing the fundamentals should have been weeded out in training camp and preseason. You get what I'm saying? Now we're going into the regular season here with all these people who don't have their fundamentals down and are not executing. And my thing, and like every week, and even last year, he get up here, oh well this and oh well that and oh well the other. I'm me personally, I'm thinking DJ Johnson is going to be the first of many, especially
Mhm.
if any kind of resemblance of last week continues forward. I think some more heads are going to roll around Carolina. What y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I said yesterday, man, is, and we've all said this. This is a production based league,
Mm-hmm.
and or industry. When you don't produce, you got to go.
Facts.
And um, I don't know if it's going to be. I think the first step was a player. I don't know what may happen at the week 5 if we succumb to the same situation that happened against the Patriots this week against the Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll just be a player. I think heads that a
Mm.
role will be coaches, maybe lower level, maybe, to try to say, well, we need to get some new eyes or whatever, man. But um, I don't think David Tepper is going to sit by idly or idle stance for much longer. I think it's itching him to do something different. So I'll say that.
Okay.
Can I say
Hey,
something,
what's going on with driver?
CJ?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Will.
So when we invoke the name David Tepper, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think this is a Tepperism. I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
damn organism and supporting Dave Canales. Because when they said when they said a player had to go, a player had to go, right? So
Yeah.
they are, and if you notice the interview with Nick Scorton was like, "Man, DJ was my brother, man," but he was like, he was
Mm-hmm.
shocking to him, letting him know just because you was a second round draft pick or a third round draft pick, your ass can be gone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Out of here.
Facts.
And you'll be looking for a job. And I think that that is important, especially for establishing a culture, everybody south of JC Horn, because JC Horn and Derek Brown is the standard bearers on that defense. We got to make sure that everybody understands that. And I think the person that really gets the message is number 32, is that in the inside linebacker role, Wallace. You ain't going to be having these good games, bad games, good games, bad games forever. Your ass could be gone because you a third round draft pick too.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Hey, and real quick, driver, welcome, man. How you doing?
All right, all right. How y'all fellas doing? PPP, quad.
Good,
You're
buddy. Okay. Hey, well, you know what? PPP and
yes,
Nick,
sir.
y'all kind of segued me perfectly into my next topic that I'm gonna put down here at the bottom of the screen. Okay. So I've been talking about this a lot this week,
Mm.
on YouTube and Shorts and TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Okay. So who goes first? All right, Dave, Bryce, or Ejiro Evero. Okay. Anybody want to pick up on this, go right ahead, and
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
give my thoughts. But before we do this, I want to let everybody know that's just joined or didn't hear me say this earlier. I have 2 tickets for the Miami Dolphins game tomorrow. Okay. I'm not messing around with Patreon anymore. I do have a co-GM tier membership here on YouTube. If you want to join that, that will get you entry to win these tickets tomorrow and the Buffalo Bills tickets at the end of the month. if you just want to try to win these tickets to the Miami game, you can send me $10 to the Cash App. The Cash App is right here at Armchair GMCJ. Okay, and so far I have Nick, the Problem Veteran Podcast, and Ann Torres added to the wheel spin that I'm gonna do later on. Okay.
It's
So like
ten
I said, you can
dollars.
send me, yeah, you can send me $10 to the Cash App, or if you want to join the code GM tier on here on YouTube, that'll get you entry to win these tickets and also the Buffalo Bills tickets at the end of the month. Okay. All
Try
right.
pay up more frackies.
Well, god dang.
Yeah, but
Look,
hey,
look,
let
look.
me tell you, I love all y'all. These tickets ain't cheap, ain't cheap.
Hey, see, hey, can you tell what section it is right now, or that's for
Oh,
later?
it's section 525. Okay, and
Okay.
and I learned last week that when the games is hot, that section is covered for the majority of the game because the section I was in, my black ass roasted a couple shades darker, me and the missus.
Hey, that's why I don't want to go to the game this week. It's gonna be 81 degrees. I don't do hot
It,
games. Mm-mm.
no, it was higher than that last game, Falcons
Mm-hmm.
game. It was a
Moon
lot higher than that.
moon pies melt in the heat.
Yeah, and Hershey kisses do
Hey,
as well.
All right, hey,
hey,
but
hey,
back to
and
this
you
though.
got to be the
Go
visitor
ahead, Will.
side. You got to be on the home side. You got to be on the homes. You got to be on the home side. I'm on the home side. I'm never in the
Yeah,
sun the whole game. You just got to be on the
yeah.
home side of the field.
Hey, look, found that out the hard way, but I'm already there. I'm already there. So hey. All
Hey,
right.
look,
Hey,
look,
but real quick, okay. Anybody want to start with this one right here? I'll give my
I got it.
opinions last. Go ahead,
No,
Nick.
Nick, no, Nick, no, Nick. I'm going
Look, look,
first,
no,
Nick.
yeah, I no. Listen here,
No,
you
Nick, no, Nick. I'm
people.
going first,
Go,
Nick.
you go sit your. Hey, listen here, 35-year-old. Go sit down in the corner.
A
No.
35 year
That
old.
that no, that's Pastor Bowberry. That's Pastor Bowberry, Nick.
Yeah. All right. Don't let me get Howard gas tank on you. Go ahead,
Listen,
gas tank.
this all look.
Every
This
time
is
he talk,
yeah,
listen. Yeah, go ahead,
respect your elders.
go
Respect your elders. Hey, this is all I'm gonna say, man, is that Evero's up out of here. I don't care what Evero do at this point. He's up out of here.
Mm,
And Bryce can get on the same bus with him.
okay.
Is that your professional analysis?
No,
Yeah,
man, I'm
he's
gonna
that.
say this, man. Evero, so this is my big issue. Evero doesn't make adjustments. He don't make no adjustments. He comes out and he's stuck on his scheme. And the thing that I've looked at the scheme when Fangio's running it versus him running it. Fangio makes adjustments. Fangio will start sending extra rushers. Fangio will play man. It's just not he ain't there.
Okay.
So that's why I think. And then, like CJ said earlier, when Bryce has the opportunities to make plays and there's no rush, there's no nothing. He throws these passes that I'm like, how do you overthrow a 6'5" wide receiver? How? And it's getting daunting at this point. But that's all I got.
It's frustrating. It's let me tell you, let me speak for you there real quick, Nick. It's frustrating. Let me tell you, I be wanting to throw stuff when I'm sitting here watching these games sometimes because I'm just like, dude, and I would even go back to the Arizona game, okay? And I put this on my let's look at the tape video that I did. At the end of the first half, okay, end of the first half, the Cardinals scored and got that touchdown, but I would say that they shouldn't even been in there because on the drive before we had the ball inside the 20, Dave called a run on first down, right? And then, all of a sudden he let the play clock run down, run down, run down, got everybody up to the line of scrimmage. The next two plays, Bryce threw a ball in the dirt to Xavier Legette. Okay. Now, if he'd have threw that ball up to XL where he could have caught it, XL probably would have got 5 or 6 yards, or maybe even got the first down. The next play where he threw to JT Sanders. Now, mind you, I still think JT Sanders caught that ball and got the first down, but they went back and reviewed it with one stinking camera angle. The commentators, they always have 6 or 7 angles that they pull up when they be reviewing these plays. They came back from commercial and said, screw it. They had one camera angle, and that was it. But my thing is with that one, Both times Bryce was in the pocket. Bryce did not have enough pressure, in my opinion, to where he had to throw a ball in the dirt on the first play and then throw a ball damn near in the dirt on that third down play to JT Sanders. My thing is, if you hit both of them, at least where they can catch the ball, it might have been slightly behind them, might have been slightly out in front of them, or whatever. It don't have to be just perfect dead on. But if you put the ball in a spot where either one of those guys can catch it, and run, that drive is extended. We might be able to go down the field, get into field goal range. But the thing is, Arizona potentially doesn't get that drive, and they don't get down the field and score that touchdown before halftime because we ended up losing by what, 4 points, 4 or 5 points. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. That's getting frustrated for me and Bryce. Is like we keep missing all these opportunities, and it's not. And like I said, it's not all on him. You have a lot of drop passes and stuff too. But my thing is, when he's back there in the pocket and he's got an open receiver, it's like, dude, like that's the basic thing you got to do is throw him the damn ball. And I was joking with Tony, and I said the distance of that pass. I said, hell, me and him could have got there and made that damn pass. You know what I mean? It's not like he had to throw the ball 30 yards down the field at an outbreaking route and get it to him where he toe tap on the sideline. I mean, the Joker was right in the middle of the field at the hash marks. So, yeah. All right. But anybody else, go ahead and give me your thoughts on Dave, Bryce, and Evero.
Yeah, I just want to say this real quick about Bryson dirtying these balls. Pause. It's very aggravating when you go back and you look at the Jacksonville game and you look at the game last week against the Patriots, where Bryson doesn't even give his guys an opportunity. And that's why in year 3 of Bryce, year 2 of Canellis in this offense, I can't be mad at anybody who says Bryce Young ain't it. I can't be mad at him, because if you don't give your guy an opportunity to even catch the ball, I mean, I can't say anything. Like there's no defense for that at all. Bryce Young had plenty of time to either run the ball, pass the ball, or do something with it and not throw it in row G, section 122. You feel me? But that's what I feel about that. Now, as far as who goes first, I think it's Evero. Only because Evero is the odd man out. He didn't come in with Dave. This is Dave's team up under the umbrella of Dan Morgan. Dan Morgan did not bring on Evero. So I think that there's going to be I'm a pause for that. That's
hey,
big.
hold on.
Pause.
Hey, real quick. Hey, shout out to Big Mo for the $2 super chat. He said, "What's up, fellas?" Also, shout out to Big Mo for becoming a member of the front office. Thank you, Big Mo. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okay. And let me see. Shout out to Flame for Jesus. 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, Flame for Jesus. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you. And for everybody that has received a gifted membership, welcome to the front office. All right. Again, thank you, Flame. Let me tell you all timer for that. And I still ain't forgot about you. I still got something to send you. I got to get another piece made for it, and I'm gonna send it your way. Okay. But thank you, Flame. Appreciate you, big dog, as always. Hey, go ahead, PPP.
Yeah, hey man, you need to get some twerk music like Dougie got whenever he gets.
He gonna get you for calling it twerk music.
Twerk music. Really?
Wow.
Hey, he played it. And Quan said, "Hey, the music's still playing." Nah, see, Dougie want that.
Wow, that's nasty work.
Oh, I want a big fine woman with some twerk with
see,
her.
Dougie. Hey. As Dougie's appointed
Oh
court lawyer
God.
here, he is not here to defend himself.
Oh my God.
That's terrible. Oh no.
He said
Nasty
twerk
work.
music.
Oh, yo. Hey, but I can say this though. It wasn't me this time. It wasn't me. I'm
incredible.
99% of the time I'm usually the guilty party, throwing shots at Doug, but it was not me this time.
That's my brother, man. I can do that, man. It's all
Oh
love,
man.
man. I'm
All
okay.
right,
Ooh,
hey,
that's
Yeah. All right, so going back to that, man, I think Evero's the odd man out of this situation, man. He did come in with Dave or Dan. Even though I want to say from the Arizona Cardinals game, we start to see a little bit of a change. When it came down to certain coverages,
Yeah.
but everything kind of regressed against the Patriots. So even with Evero, there's not a lot of consistency when it comes down to just the play. I know I know CJ has deemed him his play style the parking lot defense, and we
Yes.
saw that the I-277 defense. Yeah, we saw that in full display last game. So he's the last one. I mean, he's the first one that's going to be gone up out of here.
But you know what though, Prime? You know what though? The crazy thing was, all right, we saw a little bit of that parking lot defense in the Atlanta game, but the twist to that, and the thing that we didn't see versus the Patriots, Evero actually brought heat. You get what I'm saying? He brought Trayvon Merrick, from the like a nickel blitz a couple times. You know, the Falcons would have 5 men blocking. Evero brought 6 or 7 on one play. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He doesn't have to blitz every single play, but it's like if Evero he's either aggressive or he's just standing back waiting for stuff to happen. You get what I'm saying? Now, we didn't get a sack on Michael Penix, but we made Michael Penix uncomfortable in the pocket enough to unsettle him where he was throwing balls in the dirt. He was overthrowing receivers. And the
Mm-hmm.
thing was, if you notice too, another thing that killed us last week was yards after catch. You think about that Atlanta game. Atlanta game, when them jokers caught passes, they got tackled right then and there where they were at. There wasn't a whole lot of yards after catch in that Atlanta game. Unlike the Patriots game, they were catching passes, getting runs, and going on down the field. And the thing is, even like Drake May did not do a whole lot. He was not out there just throwing all these unbelievable, incredible passes. But when the opportunity presented itself, what did he do? He found his receiver. There was a lot of plays where there was one open receiver on that play, just one. And I every damn time he found that one receiver, and made a play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
back to Evero though, it's just like he put on a good show against I think they did good against Arizona. Okay, then you come back. I think he built upon that against Atlanta. Okay, and I don't know if something clicked or something in what they saw, and it was like, okay, well, New England, this is just New England. We don't have to apply the pressure that we did against Atlanta. And in my opinion, that's what killed him on defense.
Yeah.
Because like
If
Drake
you,
may had all
yeah.
day to just sit back there and do whatever. Go ahead, Tone or PP.
But you think about that, New England's offense, what they will do, and this is true even when they had Bill Belichick, they're going to play their strength to your weakness. They're going to apply their strength to your weakness. And everybody
Uh
knows that the weakness of the Carolina Panthers, especially on defense, is stopping the run.
Yeah.
So they're gonna lean on you, lean on you, lean on you, lean on you. They got a quarterback back there that can not only beat you with his arm, but he can beat you with his feet as well. Then you got two running backs that would just, keep running the rock down the middle, just bringing that level of physicality that we weren't prepared for,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you get past our defensive front. When you get back to when you reach the second and third levels, especially the second level, there's no physicality when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to either one of those linebackers, in my opinion. A lot of times they look like they're out of position. They don't come downhill and thump nobody. So
hmm
if you can get past that first level, that second level is almost like non-existent. And then the third level, you know, is like a 50-50 toss up. Depending on who's in the game at that point. I think Ivero will be the first to go. I think what Carolina needs is a new infusion, a coaching infusion along the defensive front. I don't know if Ivero gets his guys prepared not only physically but mentally as well. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a coach that these players will run through a brick wall for. And from the evidence that we've seen, or let me say that I've seen on the field, they don't look like they have that energy for Evero. So I just think, the way last year went and the way things are trending this year for the defense, and if it continues to trend in the direction that I see it going, which is down, he'll be the first to go. He won't be here next year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, shout out to Flame for Jesus again for the $10 super chat. He says Evero will leave on his own at the end of the year. It's the last year of his contract. They took from his defense every year to make that dwarf bum with no arm talent better. Gotcha. Now I will say this too. Panthers Com podcast. I see him on TikTok all the time. All right, and we be commenting on each other's videos over there. And he replied to a video I put on there, and he was talking about and this will be a good. And again, thank you, Flame for Jesus. I appreciate you. And this will be a good segue into something else I have here. And let me see if I have the. No, I took that one out. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and say it. Okay, so I've been asking about Evero as well, and the 4-3 versus the 3-4, and he was saying that the 4-3 and D4, the 3-4, the base defenses, but like Tony was saying, you get most of the NFL now, they're running their packages, nickel, like that 4-2-5 and things like that. And he was saying that it's not necessarily Evero's, problem, not necessarily Evero's problem, but it's more of an execution problem, like Canales has been saying. He has a lack of talent. You get what I'm saying? And I thought about that, and I was like, well, Evero's first year, we did have Brian Burns. We did have Frankie Louvu. We had J.C. Horn. Who else was on that defense? I can't remember who was at safety. No, was it not Jeremy Chin? Because they kind of took him off the field most of that year. Xavier Woods, and what's a man name that came in from Cincinnati? Y'all remember his name?
Oh, you
Safety.
talking about the safety, right?
Yeah, I can't think of his name. Y'all
Von
know who I'm
Bell.
talking.
Von
Von
Bell.
Bell. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, Von Bell.
Yeah.
You know, so but and Tony also brings up a very good point too. About the players. The feeling is they wouldn't run through a wall. For Ejiro Evero. And my thing on this is, all right. I think you got Bryce and you got Evero. Okay, they were here when Dave Canales got here. Okay, he didn't get to pick his quarterback. He didn't get to pick his defensive coordinator. All right. If you ask me on this list, if things continue the way the way things are now, it's going to be a tie for who goes first. It's going to be Bryce and Evero. Okay. If things play out the way I think they should, it's going to be Bryce and Evero. You let Dave get his he has his offensive coordinator. Okay. But you let Dave go out and get his own quarterback in here because some of these situations, to me, it feels like Dave doesn't really trust Bryce, to push the ball down the field. And then some of the play calls, I think Dave just be making stupid play calls, or whatever. But my thing is, we've had, now this will be 3 years of Bryce, and this is what 3 years of Evero. Evero had an okay season his first year. Now, mind you, we were the number 4 ranked defense as far as total yards per game. But if you go look at the numbers, the thing was, and this is kind of an indication of the offense as well. The offense was giving up a lot of short fields that first year that Bryce was drafted, and the opposing teams did not have to go far to score on us. So it looked a lot better than it was from my standpoint because we were fourth yards per game. We weren't giving up that many yards because they had a lot of short fields to work with. And then you see the debacle that we had last year. And like I said, and this year we've had 2 good games, 2 very good games in this defense. And then you've had 2 games where they've just, wet the bed and act like they just didn't know what to do. And my thing is, and I think with Evero is, and I said this earlier, he'll be aggressive enough one game, all right, and then he throws his hands up and he backs up, 30 yards and just says, "All right, I'm gonna sit here all day and we're gonna see what happens." And you know what I mean? And like I said, if there was a lot more execution, and you see what happens with this defense when they go out there and execute. Look at the Atlanta game. Look at the look at the second half of the Arizona game. You know what I'm saying? They got that one touchdown drive to begin the half, and then they didn't score a single point for the rest of the game. Okay, the run defense has been better this year, all right, except for the Jacksonville game. But the same thing I would say with about Bryce, I'll say about Evero. You got to be consistent. You can't be out here and shutting teams out, and we winning by 30 one week, and then you go and get blown out by 29 the next week. You know what I mean? So I think if things continue the way this is, I think it'll be Bryce and Evero who probably go first together. And then you let Dave get his quarterback, and he bring in another defensive coordinator. But like Tony said, and the thing is, remember, like with Steve Wilkes, when Steve Wilkes was defensive coordinator and he got the interim head coaching job, we might need that old school defensive coordinator, approach, philosophy, how they communicate, how they talk to the players as well. You get what I'm saying? Like Tony was saying about Mike Tomlin. When you go on the Mike Tomlin's team, you know exactly what you're going to be doing. And if you're not going to be doing that, you're going to be on the bench. And my thing is, you got Evero who brought like Nick Scott, and not trying to talk too much trash about Nick Scott because I talk trash about him all the time. But my thing is this: what did he show us last year? Yeah, but what did he show us last year for him to be back this year? You get what I'm saying? And my thing is, he hasn't played terrible this year, but last week he forgot what sport he was playing. He thought he was playing soccer. He was out there trying to do one of them damn slide tackles on on no play to save the
Man was
damn
playing
touchdown.
UFC football, man.
Man,
Goddamn
let me
legs.
touch a little bit
Hey,
on
Go
hey,
go ahead, driver. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to give
yeah.
everybody, I want to sit back and
Mm,
hear everybody kind of, dialogue on, what they prefer to go first, but I want to touch on it in a different way. When I look at this situation and I look at the way that we played against the Patriots, and I'm gonna use this scenario. People bring up that we got rid of DJ Johnson. Okay. If you look at DJ Johnson, where he was at in the depth chart, he was kind of like third. So in that situation, and based on what David Canales said in the press conference, based on the special teams and based on the players he wanted to activate, he came into a one press conference and stated that he wanted Evero to play the rookies more. So I kind of took that, and everybody kind of took it like, man, yeah, we do want to see the rookies play more. But now it kind of come full circle that he needed to use that roster spot to fulfill the needs that he needed to complete the team out. So and when I go to this, I don't want to make excuses for Evero, but
mm,
the situation is coming down to the head coach and him making decisions. And by him making decisions based on what meaning like taking some practice squad players off practice squad and signing them and placing them on the special teams and putting them at backup wide receiver roles. That haven't panned out. Now, when you look at Evero, okay, we went down with a couple players on defense. Everything still looked good.
mm,
Regardless of what happened on for us with injuries or not, he still was able to kind of fill those spots in place. We had Turk Warren, we had I forgot his name, the other guy. I think 91 or whatnot. But we had two of our outside linebackers go out. Defensive end or forward just pressure to the quarterback. So I just look at this situation and I think that David Canales kind of overthought it. And now that he needed to kind of put his foot down on what roster changes needed to be made, I think now he's trying to force Evero hand into playing the rookies because he actually need that roster spot on DJ Johnson. So when I think about all that, I still point the finger at Canales. And I really think that he gonna be the first person that go because I feel like based on coaching decisions, he been putting our team in bad spots based on his decision making and far as bringing players up, bringing them down. You trying to force Evero to insert the rookies just so you can have a fill up a roster spot. So now I'm looking at it like, well, Evero actually been dealing with injuries himself, and he has been
Mm-hmm.
forced to play the rookies. So when he was forced to play the rookies dealing with injuries, he did. So when you were forced to play the rookies or play, like I say, Jimmy Horn, when we know we were dealing with injuries, you didn't. You get what I'm saying? Last week. So
Mm-hmm.
you didn't
Yeah.
activate him. So now I'm looking at you sideways because it's like you trying to force his hand to do something, but you want to do it for your own offense. So that's like somebody must came down and talked to him about that. Because now it's like I told guys, if you look at David Canales and you look at Evero, this guy got bags in his eyes. So if you that confident, you that secure about your job based on just quarterback play, if everybody making this situation about quarterback play, why you sitting around that stressed out?
Mm. Fair
Yeah,
point.
Can I
I
can I
well,
add some color to that
Driver,
whenever you get a
that's
chance?
very good, driver. Man, why
Yeah.
don't you talk like
Hold
that
on.
about
no.
my show?
Go ahead,
Go
Tony.
ahead, Will. Go ahead, Will.
Oh, okay. Go
So
ahead, Will.
so when driver makes excellent points, right? But I also want to add starting players and sitting players, moving roster moves. It's not necessarily a head coach job sometimes. It's the GM that's doing that. The GM don't just give them the players and then say you can move this roster around however you feel fit once I done draft players. That's not it. The GM is the ultimate talent evaluator. He's watching film just like with the coaching staff, and they are jointly making these decisions. So if you were to ask me if somebody needs is going to go, it's going to be Evero, right? Now, if 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 they talk about a change in quarterback, you gotta let the head coach pick his quarterback if that's what he wants. Now, if the head coach comes back and says, this is the quarterback I want, talking about Bryce, then he's made that decision at that time. Him and the GM has made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
That's the decision that has to be made because everybody just assumed that he was brought here because of Bryce. He we don't know any of that. The decision, especially after this year, we will know the answer. And I'm very, and here's the reason why I'm nervous about moving on from a quarterback, any quarterback right now for the Carolina Panthers. We got two other quarterbacks playing in this league right now that we let go and they were on our roster, right? Because we didn't want to take the time to build our culture and our roster the right way. We thought that inserting a quarterback would be the answer to the question. That's the Scott Fitterer thing. Because Scott Fitterer said, this roster is set. All we need to do is put a quarterback in. And boy, was he wrong.
Facts.
Facts.
So I just, I want a culture established. And that starts with, that stands for Dan Morgan setting this roster and the culture that he wants on this roster and the coaching staff instituting what the executives want done, right? If that's with Bryce, great. If that's not without, if that's without Bryce, I think that's a decision that they have to make. But Evero obviously is not going to change his scheme. We got the talent. We just need somebody to be able to bring better talent out of those guys. Those are that's my 50 cent.
Okay,
Yeah.
hey, and
I'm
real
a,
real quick, hold on, Tony,
mm.
real quick. Shout out to Flame for Jesus, for the $20 super chat. He said, "I don't want Dan Morgan or Dave Canales here if we draft another QB. If you draft the QB, then fire Canales the next year. You have another coach playing with someone else's QB. A vicious circle. Keep going in. You know what? I get you on that one, Flame. I get you. Hey, and thank you for the $20 super chat as always. Go ahead, Tony.
Let me add to that too when you got one Tony done.
Yeah. Just real quick. Uh, the the answer to the question, I think Ivero will be the first to go. Um, I don't know if a lot of people remember that Bryce Young was more of a David Tepper pick than he was for a Frank Wright pick. So Bryce ain't going anywhere unless David Tepper feels like it's time for Bryce to go. You invested so much capital to move up the draft board in order to draft Bryce, so you gotta see it through. Okay, this is just the beginning of year 3. First overall pick, 4-year contract with the 5th-year option, team option. I mean, they can really, if they wanted to, if they felt like they were seeing some progress or enough progress or whatever the case may be, they can extend that contract or can not, it's not the contract, but extend the wait time to make a decision of whether we're going to keep him or trade him, for another quarterback. So that's my take on that one. And then the last thing, I just want to ask a question because I have seen quite a few people and heard quite a few people talking about, first of all, for the ones that don't like Bryce, that wanted Bryce gone the minute he was drafted, up until now, there's a lot of people that want Bryce gone. So my thing is for the upcoming draft 2026, and it looks like Carolina may be in a position to have a top 5 draft pick. If you were to trade Bryce and you talking about drafting another quarterback, I don't know how many of y'all pay attention to watch college football, but could someone tell me honestly, not just out of your hatred for Bryce because you want to see him gone, but just tell me honestly what quarterback you see right now in college football that you could honestly say is worth the top 5, a number 5, a top 5 pick, and that can come in and you feel like do a better job than Bryce.
Well,
Not a near nan one
I,
of them
I don't
in my
like your
country call.
loaded question, Tony. Your
that
question is
was
loaded
no,
because
that
let
wasn't.
me tell you why
Hey,
it's
How was
loaded.
that
I'm gonna tell
loaded?
you why it's loaded. I'm gonna tell you
break
why
it
it's
How
into
was
loaded.
it?
pieces
Go
and
ahead.
answer it, Nick.
Look, because it's loaded because right now it's too early to be judging quarterbacks based on being in the top 5. If I was gonna judge one,
Uh,
I like John Mateer.
okay,
I like John Mateer, but I can't say that I can't say he's gonna play the way he's playing right now the entire season.
okay,
So
right. Well, he's
I'm not
hurt.
even
He ain't
going to.
playing for the next. He ain't playing for three or 4 more weeks. So that's
Yeah,
that.
so that's that. So here we go. So I mean, and then I'm not giving Bryce any hate. And my thing about Bryce is I know CJ and you Tony. I know all of y'all have heard me say if Bryce was going to be good, at best he will be a game manager. And people want to say, oh, he's elite. He's elite. I was like, you can't call a quarterback elite if they don't have any elite traits, physical traits. Because at the end of the day, if we look at what we have going on, is that when the plays are there to be made, he doesn't make them. When so, and I don't. I'm gonna be 100% honest. If we want Bryce Young to be good on this team, we need to have what the Detroit Lions have. That's the honest truth. That's you can't be neutral. But I don't like the people calling for Dave Canales shit because they're people. These this is the bad thing about it is you need to give coaches at least 4 years to actually flip this roster and point the team in their image. Because just like Flame
Mhm.
said, you shoot yourself in the face when you say this, Flame. You tell us to get rid of Dave and Dan. Oh, because you don't want nobody to come in with a quarterback and all that kind of stuff like that. But they were screwed in the same position.
Well,
You
let,
got
let
it.
me
You got
let,
it.
let me respond. Let me respond back to command. Is that 336 Boston? Commander 336.
Yeah, that's three
Yeah,
three six.
yeah, yeah. He had
Okay,
a
because
name. He had a branding
what
change. Is
what was his
Yeah,
comment?
yeah, yeah, the commander.
What was his comment, CJ?
hold on. There you go.
Said Tony for one, the college season is still early. For two, just because we can't see a particular QB separate himself doesn't mean we stick with Bryce. That's true. That's true. But the question was based on conversations that has been amongst Panther Nation, other podcasts, people talking about, they drafting his own QB. When we talking about signing a vet or anything like that, we talking about being in a position to draft your own quarterback that you can groom. So if you were to trade Bryce Young this year, and it looks like as of right now, it looks like Carolina could potentially have a top five pick. What quarterback coming out in this year's draft that you say, okay, I like this guy or this guy, and I think they're better than the guy that I have now. So let me trade my guy because I know I'm gonna get one of these two with a top five pick. Because that's how the GMs and people like that think in the war room. That's what they think
Yeah,
in the
they do.
off season. That's how they think at the combine. You know what I'm saying? All these different variables and questions and things play out in their mind because they are thinking about the future. They ain't just thinking about next year or the year after. They thinking about 5 years down the road. So my only question would, if you make that decision to get rid of
Who's there?
Bryce at the
Who's
end of
there right
this
now?
year, yes, who
And
would
I
you
got it.
draft? Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like right now, that everybody was I ain't gonna say everybody because I don't know that, but a lot of people, the media was all on Arch Manning jockstrap because he's Arch Manning. Well, look at Arch Manning now. Look how they talking about him now. Preseason Heisman Trophy candidate ain't started no more than 3 games in his
Yeah.
career. You know
Yep.
what I'm
Throwing
saying?
gutter
All this
balls.
built up hype, but the production on the field don't match it. So that's all. That's all I'm saying. If we're going to give away our quarterback, and not saying because he's not playing great, he is playing average, or maybe slightly below average. But what quarterback do you see will come in that's worth taking a high draft pick like that? In the top five, because my mindset has always been if I'm going to draft in the first round, especially in the top five, top 10 pick, I need an instant starter. I need a game changer. I needed somebody that's going to make a difference, whether it's offense or defense.
They know for one, I'm gonna say this. Right now, the quarterbacks in college isn't, what I mean, I ain't gonna
Suck.
say isn't. They just
They suck.
they trying to make their name. They trying to make their name. I mean, they really young men. So it ain't about them being bad or being just, you know, not a generational quarterback. They just ain't been prepared or been through anything in college yet to where we could see it and we could say, well, that quarterback might could take us or take a team to the next level. It's so early in the season, so I'm just trying to make this, because I know people want to evaluate, quarterbacks, and I think, like I say, we just dealing with a new wave of quarterbacks. So it ain't like
Hmm.
quarterbacks just coming every year and they just putting them in the oven and they just come not, already baked and ready. So
Right.
I just believe that by the end of the season, we'll see what kind of quarterbacks has transformed into those quarterbacks that we might want to discuss. But from right now, I don't, I just not gonna. It's just too early.
It's hard to
And
see. It's hard to
yeah,
see. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right, Gerard. It's hard to see
Okay.
right
yeah.
now.
All right.
Hey,
Okay.
Tony. Let me say this, Tony.
Hey, hold
Yeah.
on,
Y'all
Nick.
remember? Go ahead, go
Nick.
ahead,
Hold
go
on,
ahead.
real
Read that.
quick, real quick. Let me go ahead and read the money real quick. Shout out to Flame for Jesus for the $5 super chat. He says everyone is given the obvious decision. Everett wouldn't come back if they offered him another contract. He tried to leave. They blocked him. I can't disagree with you on that one, Flame. And thank you for another $10
No,
super
he
chat,
he
Flame for
did
Jesus.
he didn't try to leave. The people requested
Mm.
to
Right.
interview him. He didn't try to leave. He
Oh, and they blocked the
requested.
interview.
They blocked the interviews. He didn't try to leave.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And Flame, thank you for another $10 super chat. Said did Dan and Dave agree to Bryce? He could have said he wanted QB to come here. He thought Bryce had the talent. It's on them both, not the next coach. Okay. Gotcha. And again, as
Well,
always,
I'm
man,
about to
thank
I'm
you,
Bryce,
about to
Flame.
Bryce,
destroy. I'm about to
Bryce,
destroy that. I'm about to hold on. Don't even you
Bryce,
ain't got to say
Bryce
that,
was.
Tony. You ain't got to
Oh,
say that,
well, go
Tony. I'm
ahead.
about to destroy that whole theory.
Hold on. Yeah. Tone, let him go ahead because I interrupted him for
David
his reason. Go
Tepper.
ahead, Nick.
David Tepper picked Bryce Young. David Tepper is the owner of this team. They gonna do what he say before anything else. They didn't have a decision in Bryce. David Tepper picked Bryce. So when you came here and you interviewed for this job, the first thing out of David Tepper's mouth was probably, "What can you do to help Bryce Young fulfill his draft status?" So you got to stop. You got to start looking at the whole picture, man. David
And
Tepper is the
and
Let me
billionaire.
let me touch on
and to
some.
add and to add on to what Nick said, Scott Fitterer was the GM when Bryce was drafted, not Dan Morgan.
Yes,
Oh, right, and this the thing about this situation where I want people to understand when a head coach benches a player and you know that the owner has the player back, it kind of goes in full circle when they talked about Bryce at the end of the season. Meaning they basically told you that Bryce is the quarterback of the future. Bryce is the team. So if anybody would have any questions about whether Bryce is here for the future, or you thought Bryce wasn't Canales' guy, they told you in the press conference at the end of the season. It ain't too hard to conclude what his record was at the end of the season and that he got bitched in the second game of the season after the second game of the season. So I just want people to
yeah,
understand, like, it's not gonna be it's not gonna be in a position where you looking at it and you're gonna be like, well, it's either Evero or it's either Canales. It basically gonna be if David Tamper still wanted to go forward with Bryce.
with Bryce. Yep,
And
that's it.
and
There it
if
is,
he don't
Driver.
get benched, like I try to tell guys, if he don't get benched, no time this season, Bryce gonna be back next year. If Bryce
Well, I don't
get
know about that.
benched, hold on, let me finish. If Bryce managed to get benched within this season, expect Bryce to be gone at the end of the season. I'm just trying to give you guys the understanding of what the situation is.
Yeah. You're right.
Facts.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna add to what you just said. Him getting benched would mean that he's playing disastrous. But I'm gonna say this too. Let's add this to Driver. If they allow him to keep playing mediocre this entire season, that could end his stint at Carolina also, because they could be fighting against what David Tepper wants. Because if you show that the rest of the team can be competent, but Bryce is the issue, David Tepper ain't gonna have no choice but to let go of them keys.
I
I mean, go
mean,
because you
you
can't
can't
listen.
say
You
But
that. You
can I
can't.
can
I'm
I
gonna tell
can
you.
I add to that? Can I add to that? We
Go
have
ahead.
not seen that yet. We have not seen that the team plays competent and Bryce is the issue. We haven't
no, we haven't. We
definitively
haven't.
that's so, and I don't think that we will do that because the roster is still in development, right?
Yeah, flux.
So you it's in flux. So you can't really say, we have the Seattle Seahawks type roster, right? Because I'm trying to pick a team that's in the middle. A Seattle
Hmm.
Seahawks roster that the quarterback play is holding back the wins and losses. We can't definitively say that just yet. So they won't be able to show. If I was the owner, you wouldn't be able to show me that this year, right?
Yeah, unless
That
so that means that
unless he plays
what
catastrophically bad.
yeah. So that means that what driver is saying has to happen. He has to get played catastrophically bad, and they gotta put him on the bench.
That's
And
what I'm trying
Kitty
to get
Kitty
you. Yeah, like it
Kitty
gotta be
Kitty
into
said
the
something. Kitty
well.
Kitty said something that I like. Hey, look, if he start playing bad, I don't want to see daggone Andy put daggone Hendon Hooker in.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and to my point, man, it's just simple, man. It's like you got to look at the situation, like I say, for what it is. Like when players on, like you say, the offense is struggling. Canales, he's not a coach, a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator. So when a lot of these roster decisions is making starting to go down and shake down, he's having trouble figuring it out how to match this roster move or put this person here and activate this guy or who you need to activate or use this guy. So when that's happening, is basically buying Bryce the time to continue to play at the level that he playing at. So when you dealing with
Mhm.
injuries, you're dealing with what's going on with the coach, with the roster moves. If Bryce don't go out there and just have a terrible game, just so bad where they gotta bench him, he gonna play out this season.
He probably
It
is. You're right.
you know what I'm saying? So
You're
that's why I
probably
say
right.
Yeah.
it just gonna be
You're
what it
probably right.
is.
Yeah. Hey, so hey, you need to read these next 2 Mondays so I can tell Flame something too.
All right, I got you. Hey, shout out to Flame again for the $5 super chat. He says Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore, Drew Aller. You need more. Dante Moore, isn't that the one from
He's an Oregon. He's an
Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon?
He's a
Okay,
former 5-star quarterback that started, I believe, at UCLA or somewhere, but he transferred to Oregon. He sat behind um Dylan Gabriel last year. He's getting his shot this year.
gotcha.
So I mean, all we got right now is a 4 game sample size of
Mm-hmm.
Dante Moore. I mean, let's be
Okay,
for real with that one. Fernando Mendoza transfer from a FCS school last year. Good quarterback. I like his arm. I like his throwing mechanics. Six
mm-hmm.
five. I think he's like 230, 235. He's dotting it up right now in Indiana. He looks good. But again, small sample
Small
size. I
sample
mean, he only
size.
has been doing it on the P4 level for 4 games. There's some potential, but you know,
The
let's
only one that he
like you
get
said,
the
my question was just based off what
mhm.
the question that has been out there and about the narrative about whether we should draft Bryce or keep Bryce. I don't know what these quarterbacks are going to look like at the end of the year. I
Yeah,
don't
we gotta
really
wait till the end of
evaluate.
the year. It's
I
too
don't really
early.
evaluate quarterbacks. I look at offense and defensive line. But as
Mm-hmm.
far as right now, yes, it is. I would 110% agree that it's really too early to look at these quarterbacks and say yes, they are top 5 or top 10 pick
Yeah,
worthy. Now
yeah.
we know history shows us that at the end of the year, when they start going into getting rid of these pre-draft workouts and stuff like that, the media is going to they're
Hype
going to
up
hype
somebody.
up 4 or 5 quarterbacks, whether they deserve to be in the first round or not, because that's what draws clicks.
Hmm.
That's what keep people engaged, and they'll spend any narrative to make the conversation look good and sound good. But at the end of
What
the
you
day,
waving?
you got to go
Can I
back and
can I
see at the production and what they put on tape.
You gotta put that
can I
next one up
also
there.
add
Hey,
one?
hey, hey,
Hey,
Will
Okay.
gonna answer this next one.
No.
hold on.
Can I
Let me
wanted
get
to
through
say
this
this
real
whenever you get
quick.
a chance. Okay. All right.
Yeah, hold on. I'll come right back to you, Will. Okay, so thank you to Flame for the $5 one. Thank you to Flame again for another $10. Say you're telling me that these so-called men couldn't say no. We don't want Bryce. We want to get him some competition in here next year. Don't take the job if you don't think he can be fixed. And what I would say to this is, um,
Did
now
Flame
I heard,
did Flame rob the dice game or something? He got
No,
like
Flame
hold
always.
on,
5
Hey,
hey,
straight
hold on,
money
wait a minute. I
today.
got
Flame
to hold
always
on.
giving.
Hey, look. I'm gonna get back to
Free.
Flame. Look what Kitty said. Ask Flame, what do you do? What the hell you do for a living? So I'm in the wrong business or need a sugar daddy.
Damn.
Damn, Flame out here just spending
Hey, but
dollars.
hey,
All
this
right.
flame in almost every Panther
Yes,
podcast. This ain't
yes.
flaming. He don't come to one Panther
He
podcast and do
shows
this.
love to everybody.
Yeah, he a true
I
Hey,
don't
fan.
agree.
hey,
I
Even
don't
if you even
agree.
if Even if he don't agree with your points, he still
Yes.
supports you.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yes.
do. He do.
Everybody.
He a true
Well,
fan
Yeah.
though. He a true fan.
Rob,
He just
Flame
loud.
to rob,
Yeah.
Flame to rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm
I
telling you
want
that now.
the what's up with you,
Hey,
everybody?
what's
What's
up,
up,
Pop?
Papa?
Hold on, Papa. One more. Hey, shout out to Big Mo for the file super chat. He said, "Let's not forget that Dave had a bad offense in Tampa Bay." Oh, okay,
He did not
got you.
have a
That's
bad.
true.
Hey, look,
He did
listen.
not. He
That is
did
not
not.
true. That is not true.
Well,
Because
That is not
when
true.
you can't run the
Hey,
ball, when you cannot run the ball, and they
Mm,
know you gonna throw, and you still throwing it on them,
yeah.
Yeah.
is that a bad
So so
offense?
so can
yeah,
I just add can
Hold
I
on,
just
Will. Hold on
add?
one second.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, Will. Hey, Poppin', I know you've been sitting there for a minute, man. I appreciate you. How you doing today, good sir?
what's good, brother? How you, man? You doing good? Family good? Everybody good?
Yeah, everybody straight, man. Everybody straight. What's going on with
everything
you?
good.
That's what's up. I wanted to answer CJ's question. I mean, not CJ, Tony question. Um,
Mm,
particularly say, if I want to get a quarterback, I want to get a quarterback out the draft who's um is going to basically, take over. A Cam Newton if you would like to say. But
Instant
there
starter. Yeah, instant
an
starter.
instant starter, and as we should have that. But that's something we should go for if the option is available. If the coach feels like that's who could do that for us, and hopefully fans that see it as well. We see a dominant type of
Hmm.
guy. um, it's too early on tape right now, but there is another option because I would also be okay with, and I want all of y'all to do your homework. Just do me a favor. Go back and look at that Tennessee game versus Alabama. Bryce Young versus Captain Hook.
Oh
And Bryce Young
yes.
is doing
Say
the
it again.
same thing. Go look, do your homework. You get the full video on YouTube right now. Watch the whole game. Bryce Young is doing the same thing he was doing in that game that you're seeing right now in these games. And how many years ago was that?
Hey, I
So,
want to add to
so hold on, hold
Poppin.
on, hold on,
Poppin
Nick,
is right.
hold on, Nick, hold on, Nick, because I don't need. I heard a lot of people getting on XL about his effort and him hurt. Rushing. He didn't hurt him run back to the line and that and other. But I also seen no effort in my quarterback when he's throwing the ball out to absolutely nobody in the end zone, where nobody could catch the ball. You didn't even give your guys a challenge. You're not giving your best effort either. But to answer your question, I think that Canales could literally bring Hooker in there because he sat. He's watched, he's learned, and go get the best linebacker with my number one overall draft pick next year. And then at 27, then go get your quarterback. Just to keep it going. And if Hooker does a great
Yes.
job, then keep Hooker. He's cheaper and everything else. More mature
Yep.
because he ain't slamming helmets.
hey,
Yep.
Oh,
I
so
agree
And
with
so
that.
everybody else that want to go to the store
Nick,
build a Bryce, it ain't open.
hey
You can't build a
hey you
Bryce.
know
Hey,
what?
hold
Hey,
on.
you know what?
Will, go
Can I
ahead,
add
Will.
something to that? Can I add something to that?
Go ahead,
So
Will.
not paying attention to what not to just besmirch what Poppin was saying, but when we were talking about we're paying for the last 5 or 6 years of this season of this team. Just listen to this. DJ Chark, Jonathan Mingle, Terrence Marshall Jr., Lavisca Chenault, ISM, Hayden Hurst, Ian Thomas, Dante Johnson. Now we got Xavier Leggett, Coca, Renfro, and finally T-Mac. That's what I'm talking about when I say that we cannot allow, we gotta allow the front office, the executive staff and the coaching staff cook here. We lived through all of that. And if they want to move on from Bryce, sure. I'm not willing to go over there with throw no kite at Hendon Hooker or any of that, right? Because if Hendon Hooker was good, he would have never been on the waiver wire. Period.
He
So
wasn't on the
Oh,
waiver
no,
wire.
no,
So
no,
hold on,
no,
hold on, hold
no,
on.
no.
He
He
was never.
wasn't.
He was
ho-
never on the. He was never on the wire. He asked to be released.
how did,
So
no,
so
no, no,
so
no,
so
no.
hold
No,
on.
no,
Let me give you the history
hold
of
on,
Hold on,
Hooker. Let me
Pop.
give you the history.
Pop. Hold
He
on,
tore.
Pop.
I
Hold on,
didn't, I
Pop.
don't, I
Pop,
don't,
Pop, Pop. Hold
I
on.
don't.
Let Will finish.
So
Well,
all
I
I'm
mean, if you don't
saying
state
is,
stuff,
all I'm saying is, if If he was good, they would have never released him. That's just not something that happens. That's just you can sit there mad all you want and say I want to be
It's
released. And if you're a great player, your ass will not be released right now. Okay, if Teddy Miller said, "Hey, you know what? I want to be released," you think we're gonna turn around and say, "Well, we're gonna grant you your release and let you go"?
Well, that's different though, Will. That's
it's
different,
context
Will.
to
No,
everything.
I just want
Context.
to.
Can I?
I
But I want you to
go ahead.
understand why he. So when they went and traded and got Jared Goff, right? They didn't know Jared Goff was going to be what Jared Goff turned out to be that year. So they also went and got him as well. But he tore his
And Hooker.
ACL the last three in the hooker. He tore his ACL in the last 3 games of that season. So he was out for a whole year, just like JJ McCarthy. Same story, but they didn't reach for JJ McCarthy like the Vikings did. So he sat. While he sat, what did Jared Goff and Detroit Lions go to the playoffs? And so they went and paid Jared Goff all that money because he took him to the playoffs. He knew he wasn't going to get the starting job. It don't matter how good he was because he had to sit for a whole year.
But
So
Papa, Papa,
hmm?
let me ask you this, Papa.
Yeah,
Who's the backup quarterback to Jared Goff for Detroit right now?
I
I
don't
have
know.
no clue because he ain't gonna get in.
Okay, so what I'm saying is when Hendon Hooker asked for his release and they granted his
Hmm.
release, he was the
Hmm.
third string quarterback. Did you see Hendon Hooker play any games in the? Did you see him play in the preseason this year?
I did. I
I
seen him play in the
haven't.
preseason last year and the preseason this year.
He wasn't
Okay,
the third
I,
string quarterback this year.
I'm not
He
even
was the
going to bring
fourth
up
string
last
quarterback.
year. I'm not even going to bring up last year because he was just coming back from his injuries, rusty and all that. But this year in the preseason, Hendon Hooker looked straight like trash. He looked like a deer in headlights in the preseason this year. Now,
Okay.
I remember a lot of Panther fans was on Hendon Hooker, was wanting Carolina to draft Hendon Hooker. I
Hmm.
remember that. I remember that.
I didn't want
So
that. I knew he was
we
hurt.
talking about him right now. I'm like I said, I'm not going to talk about when he came in towards ACL, Saturday or nothing like that. What he showed this year in the preseason, you're
Hmm.
telling me
What, 4 5s and
that
6s?
you would take that guy in place of Bryce right now? Is that what you're saying?
They did the same thing they did to Shador. Did they not? Did they not throw Shador out there with
Hold
four
up.
fives and sixes?
Well, popping, don't move the goalposts. We're talking about
I
Hendon
did
Hooker.
it.
We ain't talking about
I'm
Darren
giving you the
Shador.
same. I'm getting
We're not
Shador.
talking about.
Hold on. I'm giving you a quarterback that was in the same situation. You put him out with garbage talent, and you ain't seen no production. You can't do nothing with fives on the offensive line
He
that ain't
didn't. He
blocking.
did
We
not.
saw
He
production
did
from
not
Shador.
play
What
with
you
four.
talking about?
He did not
Not no,
play
not
with
that
fours
second
and
game. You
fives
didn't.
all preseason.
Pastor Bowberry don't woke up.
Yeah,
We said
surprisingly, I'm actually eating a Bowberry biscuit, a bagel from Einstein Bros, bro. I really am. Yeah.
Enjoy it, man. But look,
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Listen. What I'm saying, I'm just throwing one person out there. I'm not saying you. I'm just giving you another avenue that can go. If it's somebody else, another veteran quarterback that's young that Canales can bring in, and we can still build out this defense, and then go get your guy in the next draft. That's fine. But I don't think personally, from what I've seen and what I think is going to transpire for the rest of this season. And I understand that what's the name is saying is up to the organization. We know that anything that happens with this team is going to be up to the organization. We know that. That's just a given.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is that even if we don't see somebody in the draft that we feel like is going to be the guy, there's other options you can do to keep this get this boat a little bit rolling a little bit faster than where we at right now, because a lot of these questions are going to be answered at the end of the season. You're going to
That's
find
right.
So
out
I
if people are
agree
going to
with
get
that.
fired. You're going to
I
find
agree.
out if Bryce. Well, if you don't think Bryce, or you do think Bryce, if you already know in your heart if Bryce the guy, then you ain't got to worry. Like me, I don't have to worry. I already said what I've said about Bryce. Bryce is either going to keep the job or going to lose it. And so far,
Yep.
it don't look like he's going to keep this job. He has not showed
Yep.
me nothing in year 3. I'm not lowering my standards of what what I expect as a Carolina Panther fan, just for somebody to be in a perfect situation for him to produce. We
Yeah,
didn't have that with Cam Newton. We didn't have that with Jake Holmes. We didn't have that with any of these other guys.
But
yeah.
what perfect situation has Bryce been in to
But you,
produce?
No,
but
that's
this is
what
the
people
thing
are.
about it,
That's
Tony.
what people are
But
asking for.
Huh?
Those are the
that's what you
excuses
said,
people
Tony.
make. That's what I'm saying.
Tony,
Say
the
what, Nick?
only way that Bryce is going to be good, the only, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna stand on it. I'm gonna stand. Matter of fact, I'm gonna turn my camera on. I am standing on it. The only way that the Panthers are going to be good with Bryce Young is if he is in a situation like Jared Goff. And we don't have that. And just like Poppin just said, we didn't have to do that for Cam, and we did not have to do that to a subpar quarterback like Jake Delhomme.
Now turn your camera
Come on
back on.
now.
Turn your camera back on.
Now,
Turn it off.
now,
Let me
when you go
let me
ahead.
say something
No,
real
go
quick,
ahead.
man. Uh,
No.
you can't use Cam's situation as uh a standard because Cam was a different player in college, meaning he took a
Yes, I can.
sorry ass
As
Auburn
a fan,
team.
yes, we can.
No, hold up. Let me finish. He took a sorry ass Auburn team to the championship. He took our organization with no productivity at wide receiver, really, to the
Hmm.
championship. So
Hmm.
it's hard to say that I understand you know what I'm saying, that you wanna have a player like Cam Newton, and I want
No,
to.
I didn't say I had to have
But
I
That
didn't say
ain't
I had to have a Cam Newton.
no, but what I'm saying
I
is,
Hold
said,
on, let,
hold on,
listen,
let
let
him
me
finish.
listen.
finish.
Pop, pop,
Let me
pop, pop,
finish.
pop. Let him finish. Let him
My fault,
finish.
my fault.
Okay. I
You
mean,
good?
what I'm saying is I understand this Cam Newton effect, but ain't no players since Cam left or before Cam was in the fucking NFL that could actually literally drag an offense with nothing to the Super Bowl. So when we talk about quarterbacks in general, just be more in mindful that we should want our standards to be more of a game manager. And if we get Superman or generational talent that comes along the way that we having to get, then we just gotta be grateful for it. But what I'm trying to say is that ain't gonna happen when like every 3 years or every 5 years or every 10
yeah.
years. That's not
We agree
happening.
with you that. I
So
think you're
It's
taking what
been
we're
what
saying.
8 years.
but what I'm saying is that we at a point in our organization where we done went through almost 8 quarterbacks since Cam Newton. And you basically saying that if we go get or start a Henry Hooker or a bridge quarterback, that's
Hmm.
gonna get the fans to rally around this team. That's basically what you're
No,
saying.
no, that's not what we're saying.
What I'm saying is, and CJ, help me with this, CJ.
All right, go
When
ahead.
you go to Burger King, what is the difference between that service and Chick-fil-A?
Let me tell you, if you go to the Burger King over on Brookshire,
Hmm.
versus the Chick-fil-A on Brookshire, the service
Hmm.
is vastly different. You get
There,
the hello,
there's
hi,
a
may I
standard,
help
ain't it?
you? Yeah, it is the
Yeah,
standard.
there
My
you go.
pleasure. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So why should I settle for? You better just be grateful that if you get a game manager, I don't have to do that as a consumer of this team.
Can I say something
I
about
don't
the
have.
game manager thing?
I don't have to
Hold on, Nick. All right, go ahead.
lower because if CJ notices the standard, we were once Chick-fil-A and now we Burger King. And I'm just supposed to be grateful. What I have been saying is I don't need another Cam Newton, but I need somebody here that can do their job to a better efficiency than Bryce. Now there's a lot of other problems on this team, but you go as your quarterback go. And yes, I do believe that you can plug in somebody and keep going. Baker Mayfield has done it. I've
He
seen
didn't do it
Jared
here.
Goff has Jared Goff. They didn't give him a chance to do it here. They gave him 1 year, and they put him in a quarterback battle and all this other drama stuff that they did. And it was a mole in the organization. That was an organizational thing. So
Exactly.
it was bigger than Baker. So they didn't give him a chance or build around Baker. They didn't want to do that. They got rid of him.
So
Now we look crazy because we seen somebody who actually can do it before they got here. He left and still doing it somewhere else. So don't tell me a
Two of
bridge
them.
quarterback can't do it.
yeah,
Two of them.
so can I
The
Two
two
can
of
I
them.
two
can
of
I
So
them.
can I
so
can
so
I can I
so the idea. I'm almost finished. The idea of bringing somebody else while you're building back up that defense so we can keep pounding like we used to on defense, I don't think it's a bad idea if the guy that you want and in the draft is not there. Then you can go back and reach because when I've given up everything I've given up for a incompetent QB, y'all should be done.
okay. So can I jump on the game
Go ahead,
manager,
Will.
game changer thing and then respond to Quantum? So Cam Newton, the one who started this thing about game manager and game changer, right? And Cam Newton qualified Brady, Tom Brady as an elite game manager. So being a game manager doesn't mean that you're not a great quarterback. And that's Cam Newton saying that, not Will Robinson. So when you say
We're not
game
saying that.
manager, no, I'm sorry, say that again.
We're not saying that
No,
it's a
no,
bad
no,
thing.
no, but no, he said, I'm settling for, I'm just saying his words he used, I'm settling for a game manager, right? So I just wanted to point that out, right? So even if the next quarterback
Yeah,
come
but
in,
he but
if
you
he's an,
said
no,
but Cam Newton
no,
said elite. He didn't
no,
say elite.
no,
So
listen,
we
sir,
breaking down words. Hey,
sir,
Hold on.
sir,
Hold on.
Let
sir,
Will finish.
sir,
Y'all just chill out.
thank,
Let Will finish.
yeah. So I'm just saying, I'm just using that as the extreme of one side. If we had a great game manager quarterback and we had an elite defense, we would still be great. So I'm just saying the trait of the quarterback, whether game changer, game manager is not really is a debatable thing. I doesn't think that lowers our standard. That's one. And to
Can I
Quantum's
go
point,
next?
Hold on, Nick. Hold
I
on.
want to respond to Quantum when he was saying, you know, about Bryce and you got to have everything around him. You got to have the Philadelphia Eagles in order to make that work. Well, we had Sam Darnold here, right? And we had dude down in Tampa,
Baker
whatever
Mayfield.
that Baker
Baker
Mayfield
Mayfield.
down here. So in other words, we had the quarterback talent in house. We chose to move on too quickly before
Yeah,
we
that's true.
built the roster, right? And what
That's
I'm
Mm-hmm.
true.
fearful of, and I do agree with Poppin on this point. If there is someone that's a quarterback better than Bryce, I want him, right? However, what
Mm-hmm.
I'm fearful of is the same thing that happened with Darnold and the same thing that happened with Baker Mayfield. We have what we need in house. We moved on too quickly. That
Hey,
and I paused there.
and hold on. Let me jump in with you on that one, Will. But I think we're starting to have the kind of reverse situation. Okay,
Hmm.
when we had Sam and Darnold in here, they weren't making the type of plays that Bryce was making, as far as just overthrowing everybody, missing wide open receivers, bad passes like he's doing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
To be honest with you, like I said, if Bryce would just go out there and quit making some of these boneheaded throws that he's making, and look at the difference between him and Baker Mayfield. Okay, Baker Mayfield, I know somebody put in the chat about scanning the field. Okay, Baker Mayfield will scan the field and he will know where his check downs are at and where he has to go. Last week, Bryce had the fourth down and two play. Okay, Chuba Hubbard was to his left and he was wide open. He
Hmm.
would have ran from
Wide
here to
Right.
open,
San Antonio.
wide
He
open,
would have ran from here to San
wide open.
Antonio if he'd have kept going.
Right,
Bryce Young peeked
right.
to his left to look at Hunter Renfro and Ted McMillan. Did not even look
Hmm.
Chuba's way, and then goes back the other side of the field and then decides to just throw the ball in dirt. I seen somebody say they were like, you know what? This is the moment where Bryce said, "Fuck all this. I don't want to be here no more." You know what I mean?
Right.
Those are the type of
I
plays that yeah. But see, those are the type of plays that are frustrating. Me as a Panther fan, as a content creator, you know, with Bryce.
I agree.
My thing is, if you're out here making all of these simple plays that all these quarterbacks are out here getting paid to do, and then you're going out there and you're throwing passes and receivers are dropping them. You got receivers running into each other. The play call is trash. That's one thing. You can't be out here and all this is going on and you're not making the quote unquote simple throws. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. So, and I'm gonna draw the string, and this is the reason why I'm a little bit apprehensive about
Mm-hmm.
changing out coaching staff and all this other stuff. And here's the reason why: Baker Mayfield, first game he played as a Carolina Panther. You know what everybody called him? Bat down Baker. Baker
Mm.
Mayfield had 4 batted down balls in week 1.
He did. He did.
But you don't have that. But you get what I'm saying. But our offensive line was shit, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we blamed the. It's just that I'm just, I guess, it's like holding on to an asset, right?
Mm-hmm.
This asset has such tremendous upside. Do I get
Who?
rid of
What
this
upset?
asset? No,
Hold
I'm
on, Pop.
using
What
an
upset?
Hold on, Pop.
analogy. I said, I said asset. When you have an asset, right? So you have an asset. Let's say you have an asset, and this is just me saying it. So that's your analysis that Bryce Young is the worst thing since the worst quarterback that we could possibly have right now. That's your analysis. What I am saying is, if you have me, I'm talking about me and certain other people like me. You have an asset that if he hits, is worth it. However, when do you move on? Is it now, or do you move on too soon, or do you move on too late? And I think that this year will give us an indication: do we continue or do we wait? Because if we'd have moved on in year 2, that would have been just stupid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Well,
getting
But
at.
I
I
think we're
agree. I
saying the
agree. But
same. I think we're saying the same thing. We
mhm,
just we just come at it. One's coming up 85, the other one's coming up 77, and we gonna meet
mhm,
right there at Betty's Ford. Okay, but I think we're
right.
talking about the same thing. Nobody is saying, if Bryce turns his season around, okay, and he's out here playing at an elite level, okay, then yes, you go ahead and keep him and you continue to build, mind you, I me
Wishful
personally, I
thinking,
think
CJ. Wishful
I
thinking,
got you.
bro.
I got you. What's up, Nick? How you
What's
doing?
happening? What's happening?
But my thing is now, if that happens, okay, cool. You've turned your focus onto this defense, okay, and you go ahead and draft you some
Hmm.
players, draft you some dogs on this defense, and get them in here because the thing is, we need to bring in people on this defense that we can groom.
Hmm.
Now, mind you, we made an attempt to get kind of a game changing player in Milton Williams in the offseason, but he took more money to go to New England,
Hmm.
he's up there doing his thing. But the thing is, I think everybody here knows that, Bryce is going to have to go out here and have a couple games in a row where he throws for 100 yards and 2 fun. He's going to have to have a few more games like Jacksonville in a row before they decide to bench him. If they bench him, I think it's a wrap. Okay.
I don't
But
think he's
in the
going to get
sense
benched.
of, well,
Oh,
that's yeah,
he on his way to it.
he's going to have to, yeah. Sometimes we
I,
feel like
I
he's on his way to it. But
I,
my,
I
my
don't
thing
think he's
is
gonna
this.
get benched at all. I think he's gonna play every single snap, but it's gonna be
Okay.
enough tape to convince whoever whether he
It
is
Yeah,
enough tape then
yeah,
convince whether he is or not the guy. And as far as the
yeah.
the asset, holding on to an asset with super high potential, it would have been showing by now. Like the
And
the whole Bill
this is true.
Belichick thing, the whole Bill Belichick um, mastermind is get rid of him before you can get something
Yeah,
out of
one
him.
year
You
early
know,
instead of 1 year too late, Pop.
when you're
Yep.
late,
But
exactly. So I mean, that's
but
just
the thing
legendary
is though,
coaching.
And he screwed
Hmm.
up, and he screwed up
Hmm.
that with Tom Brady, didn't
I
he?
know y'all see CJ
So
trying to
that
talk
1 year
now.
too early shit was.
it's all good, Prime.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
He was
yeah,
right. He was right
yeah, I'm sorry.
98% of the other time. He was right about Lawyer
That's
Malloy.
why I got
He
quiet.
was right
I stayed
about
Hmm.
quiet.
Ty Law. He was right about Willie McGinnis. He was right about Richard Seymour. He was right about all these guys. Just because he was wrong on Tom Brady one time, Tom Brady's an anomaly. Belichick has proven multiple times he's gotten it
I
correct.
don't know about it.
Multiple times.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Hey,
yeah, yeah.
but
Tom,
but
yeah,
with
got it,
Bryce,
got it.
but with Bryce though, okay, my thing is he's got a fully guaranteed contract. And Will, you saying about moving on from asset, if it's from the financial standpoint of it, my thing is if they don't cut him, you know, put him on the bench. And my thing is this: when we had Sam Darnold, okay, and we were going down the stretch of that season, what my hope was, you bring Wilkes back, you let Sam Darnold play another year and see if he could build on that momentum from the end of the previous season. And then if it wasn't it, you have the quarterback for that year. You keep building up the defense and then keep building up defense and the offense, hopefully in the draft and that off season. If Sam Darnold didn't make it, then you get you another quarterback, in the next year's draft, which would have been was it 24? Okay, not this past draft, but the previous draft before that. I think the same thing situation here now. And I know I think CJ Hill was saying in the chat, if you don't like the quarterbacks in this year's draft class is coming up, bring you in a veteran or hell, or even, and I know Tony said this about Hendon Hooker, but he's on the roster. Let him go out there and compete for a job against another veteran quarterback. See what you can do for this year, because the thing is, what we did on offense, we brought in, the guards Hunt and Lewis. We drafted Ted. We've drafted Jonathan Brooks. We have drafted Jatavion Sanders. We drafted another running back in ETN, tight ends, and all that good stuff. My thing is this: don't go out here and try to get another quarterback in this draft. Go ahead and keep. You might have to add another piece or two to the offense. Maybe not. You know what I mean? But you definitely need some help on this defense. You definitely got to get this defense right. So even if whatever happens next year, quarterback doesn't work out, if you go out there and draft another one, he's coming into a better situation as far as the entire team as a whole. So yeah,
I agree with you, CJ, 100%. I'm on the same path, and at the same time, um,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with nothing that you said. Period.
So
That I think that's just the best case of action.
I got you. Hey,
And
and real quick before we get going, shout out to Flame for Jesus. I got backed up in the super chats here because we're having some great conversation here. Shout out to you for the $10 super chat. Said, I'm not hiring a coach if he gets worse every year. I have us winning 3 games this year unless I'm putting it on the GM for not getting good enough talent. All right. Thank you for that one, Flame. And also thank you for the $5 one. Now here I am firing both together again. I'm keeping Brent Tillis though. I'm hiring a GM from a team that wins every year. I
Oh,
got
this
you.
ain't Dan
I got you.
Morgan. I couldn't
All right, go
disagree
ahead.
more. I wouldn't blame Dan Morgan one bit. One
Okay.
bit. Only thing I would definitely, if it's looking to me, I don't know. Y'all could let me know if y'all disagree or not, and it's cool, obviously, because that's the beauty of debating. I was big on Canales, but I don't think he's the guy now. I was telling PPP this the other day. And Twan and them, shout out everyone over there. Um, I don't like my coach being overly OP positive, bro. Like, I'm sorry, this is a man's sport. You got to be able to choose someone out when they're messing up and not playing well. And I don't like this, you know, the whole over positivity and oh, the grass was cut so perfectly today and the smell. Like, shut the hell up, bro. Shut up.
Do you like Super Bowl
Hey,
rings, Nick?
Nick,
Yeah, I like
did
Super
did
Bowl rings, bro. I don't want to be
did,
talking
did you
about how the
see Andy?
grass was
But
cut.
Steve
Did you
Carroll
see
Steve
Andy
Carroll's the
Reid hit
same way.
Travis Kelsey?
Oh, please.
Yeah,
Look,
that was
did y'all
crazy.
see Andy Reid bump Travis Kelsey when he came to the sideline? Like, he threw a shoulder into
Yeah.
him and was like, "Hey, bro, what
Do a
the hell did you
Yeah,
just
cheeseburger.
try?" Yeah,
let me see Canales show some fire, bro. Show
yeah,
me
but
some
Yeah, but
like,
fire.
I
I'm with you,
mean,
Nick.
but
I
I'm
never
with you, Nick.
seen
I
that
want to see.
fire.
I want to see fire too. I want to see some
yeah,
fire too.
this is
I
I
would
would
kind
like to
of
love to
see
see.
that. But I
go
also,
ahead, Pop.
Will, I got one question for you, and this is one thing that you have to take in consideration because I know the coaches and everybody else can answer this too. I don't know what I have in anybody else if the quarterback is not giving them the chance. I remember Canales said the reason why he benched Bryce is because they needed to see what was on the what we got and who we got, and it was the best chance for us to win with Darnold. If Bryce keeps playing down this road, do not know what I have in anybody else on this team. I don't know
Yeah.
what they can do. And and these people gotta hit this incentive. Me and Driver have had this argument. They have incentives in their contracts. You get a certain amount of this, You get an extra $1 million there. You get a hundred, you get a little bit of that. You get $100 million there. Whatever. I'm just making crazy numbers, but you know what my
Mm-hmm.
point is. I can't see that because see some of these guys don't have guaranteed money. So we're not able to
Yeah.
see what the talent is if he doesn't give them a chance. And this is going on year 3. The only person who's getting guaranteed $37 million that catches the ball is nobody. It's only Bryce to getting that guaranteed
So
every
can
Tuesday.
I ask you,
Hit
what's
his
the
bank account.
question? What's the question? Trying
So
to
my
pick out the
question
question. You say
is,
you, yeah. Uh-huh.
my bad. Maybe I'm not asking no question.
No, here's my
Oh, you
question.
want
When
me to
is
read? Oh, hey, wait, hold on,
when
now,
is it?
hold
Because
on,
I
Hold,
hold on.
hold, hold, hold on,
I
y'all.
want to,
Oh,
Hold,
go
because I
ahead.
want to
Damn.
respond to
Jeez.
popping. Yeah, I want to respond to popping. I
So
mean,
when so here we go. Here's the
uh-huh.
question. What
Okay.
game where you're like, okay, you know what? Like I want a specific game. Week 8, week 11. If the production stays the same, when are you willing as a fan, as a PSL owner, to be like, you know what? I want to see what else we got on this team as far as talent because of what we got going
Mhm.
on at quarterback is not producing. When would it be okay for you?
So
hold.
here's what I would tell you. It's not a number. It's not a week number like week 8, week 9, or week 11 or whatever. What it is this: if he has several series of games like he played in Jacksonville, he got to go to the bench, right? Now, if you take what he did in, now I'm going to take the blowout that we just had last week. He didn't turn the ball over. He missed some critical throws, but it was a lot of stuff on the roster. Nobody talked about how special teams shit the bed, right? No one talked about how the defense came out in the second half, let them go down the field in 6 minutes and score a touchdown and eat the clock. No
Preach.
one is, well, I mean, so there was a lot of stuff that happened, right? So all I am
Well,
saying is, I am not saying that Bryce is the answer. I am not saying that Bryce isn't the answer. What I am saying
come on, Pat.
Oh, come on.
is
He's not
that
the only problem.
he's not the only problem.
Oh,
And
come
for you to say
on.
place, for you,
Hold on,
listen,
Nick. Hold on, Nick. Hold on, Nick.
for you to say, and I get Poppin's point, because I mean, now that we're not young at each other, I can kind of understand what he's saying, and I agree to an extent. What I do see from Nick, like from Nick and from um the frustration, right? The actual literal frustration that we feel, and we want to place that frustration somewhere, right? I get that. But I do not believe, I vehemently do not believe if you take Sam Darnold right now that's playing well, put him in the Panther uniform, give him a week of offseason, the same offseason that Bryce had, put him here and he's going to win 9 games or 12 games.
I,
We don't have
I
that
believe he was gonna
roster.
win more.
Oh,
I,
I
I
mean,
believe he gonna win more.
let's go back. Let's go back to that year. He started
hey,
the year
hey,
3-0, and if
can I,
McCaffrey and
why are
JC
you
don't go
yelling?
down, who knows
Why are you
what happens
yelling?
that year? Who
Why are
Well,
knows?
you yelling?
No,
he
Will is
I'm
he
not
not
ain't
yelling.
talking
I'm
really
about
yelling.
that
explaining
year.
myself, dog.
He
I'm explaining
That's just Nick
myself.
talk. That's all.
Don't get all don't do
talking.
that with me, Will. Because I'm sick and tired of you
Slow
and all these
down.
Bryce fans over here sticking up for this clown ass little muskrat motherfucker, bro. He's the #1 overall pick. Where's the accountability, bro? Where is the accountability? What are you gonna say now? Oh, the offensive line is trash? Bro, he's the #1 pick. Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl as the #1 overall pick with a worse offensive line. Come on, man. Stop making excuses up for this little muskrat, bro. He ain't shit. The dwarf ain't shit.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
now you
now
done,
that
yelling,
bro.
you,
Nick. All right.
I'm done. I'm fucking done.
so,
I'm
so,
done with
so,
this clown, bro. Bryce Young is a
Go ahead, Will.
so,
clown. Bryce Young
hey,
is a
hey,
clown,
Oh, okay,
y'all.
Nick. Okay, okay, okay. We
okay,
got you. We
okay.
got you.
So
Ain't even
I got you,
missing,
Nick.
man.
I got you, Nick, and I hear your frustration, but you training your ire and your frustration towards me, which is weird. What I'm saying to you is this. What I'm saying to you is that we have several things wrong, and Bryce Young has not been playing to the standard that we all think he should play to. But if you're sitting up there and you ain't said shit about nothing else except the quarterback, if that's all you talking about, then I find it disingenuous that that's all you talking about. Because I mean, just like I got to jump off the line, after I finish up with popping, I got to pop out because my wife waiting on me. We get ready to head up to Charlotte. I just finished packing my bag while I was talking to y'all because I'm going to be at the
Mm-hmm.
game on Sunday. So I put my time, my money, and my resources into my fandom of being a
Mm-hmm.
Carolina Panther fan, but you can't sit up there and say, when are you sticking up for this motherfucker and blah 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 and all of this and yelling at me? What you yelling at me for? That's
It's
weird.
just it's just coming from passion. It's
He's
not.
just passionate.
That's all it
No,
is.
He's
You
no,
get it.
passionate.
no.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
just
just.
saying,
He's
no, no,
passionate.
but I'm saying,
but
why direct
it's
your
a it's
passion
a hold
towards
on.
Don't
me?
hold a
It's
grudge.
a
Don't hold a grudge
it's the
against him. Don't
it's
hold a
the
grudge
it's
against
a
him.
difference. It's a difference of being passionate and hate. That man just hating Bryce Young. And like Will said, if anybody, and this is coming from me going to anyone, because I want to
Mm-hmm.
smoke with anybody. If you are a Carolina Panther fan and you are watching Carolina football, and if your
Mm-hmm.
only take is how bad Bryce is, Bryce ain't shit, Bryce this and that, if that is your only take of looking at this badass team that we've had for the past
Mm-hmm.
7 to 10 years, offensively, defensively, special teams, and the only take
Mm-hmm.
that you can take away is that Bryce ain't shit, then you are the problem. You
Yeah,
are.
Yeah,
yeah.
I get it.
Let
I
me
get it.
add to that.
Tony,
Let me add to that because I don't want to
he
yell.
That's a
go
fact,
ahead, Nick.
You
Go
man.
are
ahead, Nick.
not
Go
a
ahead, Nick.
true fan because if you will look at what happened last week, we gave up 42 goddamn points to the New England Patriots. Was that Bryce Young fault? Bryce didn't throw an interception. He didn't have a fumble. He didn't turn the ball over or none of that.
No, that was
He
special
led
teams.
the
That was a
team
special
down.
teams.
He led the team down first drive of the game and put 6 points on the board. New England therefore scored 35, 37 unanswered points. Is that a Bryce Young problem? Hell no, it's not. That's the defense. Special teams shit the bag. And every time I always hear, especially today, Will said it perfectly. Everybody want to just talk about Bryce Young. That's all y'all want to talk about is Bryce Young. Y'all don't want to talk about address all the other problems that we've had. Just like the defense was ravaged with injuries this year, the offense is ravaged
Mm-hmm.
with injuries this year. Let's just talk about that for a second. Let's just start with the wide receiver core. Let's just talk about the top four wide receivers that Carolina have right now. One is a rookie. Two is injured and is an undrafted free agent. Three is a wide receiver that didn't even play football last year. Four
Mm-hmm.
is another undrafted rookie. So we want to talk about talent and what Bryce got and what Bryce has done and this and that. And I mean, he is playing below average because we have below average talent. There, I said it for y'all, for everybody.
Hey,
We are on our
hallelujah.
Yeah.
third string.
Oh,
We are
Lord,
on our
classy.
third string. We are on our third string right guard this year. Our starting left tackle didn't play the first 2 or 3 games this year. The only offensive lineman that has not missed a game this year is Damian Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Our right guard is out for the year. Our starting center is out for the year. Taylor Moton has missed a game this year. But you don't hear nobody talking about that. The tight end, Jatavion Sanders, has missed a game or two.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Tremble has missed the first 2 games.
I didn't want him signed
Now
nowhere.
Chuba,
I said he's just a light skinned Ian Thomas.
and now Chuba is going to miss this game. So
Mm-hmm.
we got to look at it in the totality. Let's just quit talking about Bryce because it's so easy to talk about Bryce. If you're a true Panthers fan, our whole team is fucked up.
Mm-hmm. I
Mm.
agree, Tony. And usually
How
I try
dare
to
you
stay away
say?
from talking
How
about.
dare?
I
Hold
just
How
on.
try to
dare
Go
you
stay
ahead,
away.
say that? How dare you say that,
I
hold
try to
Tony?
on.
stay.
That's
I,
ridiculous.
I try to stay away from talking about Bryce. I just figured since that was the subject when I came in that we was talking about, I was just talking about him. But I love breaking down the whole team. I mean, and then I also I always hold, whether I'm on this show or going somewhere, I hold everybody accountable for what they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't even down to the
My
coaching. Even
bad,
if the
TJ. I
coaches
didn't
are
mean to be screaming and all that on your show, man. My bad.
You good,
e-
bro?
Yeah,
even if the
Tyler gave
coaching,
us 10
even if the
push-ups right now for doing it.
yeah. Turn your camera on. Even if the even if the coaches are being truly treated unfairly, I give it to David Tepper. I'm not one of the ones that just harp on Bryce because I can't stand talking about Bryce. Like that was just one of the things I just said I was going to try to stay away from. But hey, if that's the subject of the show, I try to stick to the subject. But yes, we definitely have a lot of problems. I don't understand why Evero doesn't allow J.C. Horn to be on the #1 wide receiver. Don't get it. Don't know why Rosebone is a green dot. He's trash. Didn't want him in the first place either. But hey, we got him, don't we? And everybody was hyping him up. Uh, it's plenty of issues. So you're absolutely right, Tony.
I don't think everybody was hyping him up.
That's
I actually think Rosewood got the green dot by accident.
yeah, and I
Oh,
wanted to
because of
say
Josie
I
something.
Jewel.
think everybody thought
Oh yeah,
Josie
CJ.
Jewel. Yeah,
And
I thought
Yeah, go
and
ahead,
like
driver.
But we didn't.
it
But
just
we didn't even have Rose Boom when they decided to uh part ways with Josie Jewell. That decision came afterwards.
I thought
Right.
Rosewood
Yep.
was here for a second
Rose
with
No,
Boom
Josie.
was
Rosebone was
signed.
here.
no. Rosewood was there. He was there
No,
Yeah,
before
he
Rose
Josie
was
Jewel.
here.
Boom
Yeah, he
was
was.
signed
He,
after
Mm-mm.
he would
No,
say.
no,
no, I thought it was
no.
before. I
Rosebone
thought
was here when
Rosewood
they.
was signed.
Yeah, because he came in free
Yeah,
agency. He was here before
Yeah, he
yeah.
came in free
before
He
the
agency.
came
draft.
before the draft.
When when did Carolina decide to part ways with Josie Jewell?
Right
It
before
was
The
the
like
week
CA.
that training camp
July.
started. The week that
Yeah,
training camp
late
started.
July.
Oh, it's right before. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was wrong
Rosebone was
then.
here. Yeah, Rosebone was
Okay.
here.
yeah, and
Cool.
so how does Dan Morgan don't know how to recognize a linebacker? See, I'm really thinking that CTE
Oh man, we're
is
gonna have
is
that
kicking in.
conversation, bro.
Hey,
I've been thinking that,
how
and I'm
does how
like,
do, hold,
yo,
but Prime,
He
how
said
does
yo,
Canales
CTE.
let an undrafted free agent get more reps than the guy you actually drafted? Man, you agree on that too?
what's going on with Bam Martin Scott?
I don't know. I like him.
I don't know. Hey, but hold on, y'all. Hold on, real quick. Driver, you wanted to say something, bro? Go ahead.
yeah, I was just wanting to touch on just how this draft went. I mean, if we talking about the
Mm,
organization, right? If we talking about going forward into what we call uh of winning, trying to win, being a winning organization. So I like I say, man, I understand the frustration with the team, but like I say, I listen all preseason long, all training camp long, all off season long, and it always was mainly about Bryce. Everybody kept saying, "Man, the team was bad because of Bryce. The team was bad because of Bryce. Team this, and that." All right, I got to the season and realized that all these motherfuckers hurt. And I no means, you know what I'm saying, the disrespect, but that's just what it is,
you
bro.
good?
Everybody is hurt. And I understand people's frustration with the quarterback, but I really wanted to hear real fans come out and say, you know what, bro, man, we just got bad. We bad everywhere. But people didn't come out and say that. So
Mm,
that I just wanted to say that to kind of touch on what y'all was saying earlier about the quarterback and everybody chasing the quarterback out of town. But when I listen to just the majority, I hear PPP and like I say, a lot of people always just the norm just touch on the critical things. But what I wanted to hear from fans is we need a lot of change on the team far as the talent. And we got it in the draft. I just believe people are so quick to try to, give up on the team. That's all I'm trying to say. Because we got a good
mm,
draft for the first time in a long time. And we finally got a good draft, and things ain't panning out. And I just think it's so easy just to point out the quarterback. And when the season happened, it showed that we had so many holes in the team. So I was just
I'm
wanted to
glad
say
you.
that.
I'm glad you said that because me and CJ had that same conversation a couple nights ago, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, we have had our best two drafts the last 2 years than we've had with Dave Gettleman, Scott Fitterer, or Marty Herney.
Marty
Marty
Herney.
Herney was good for hitting on the first round draft pick. After that, it
Mm-hmm.
was shit to bed. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
facts.
Like we actually had more players stick around on this past year, this past draft, and the year before. Like Dave said, and Dan said at their press conference, this is going to take some time. It's going to be a process. I know that we as a fan base are impatient and want things to happen right now and expect it to happen right now. But if you know and you can see because we all watch the game, we don't have the talent level to be a top 10 team or even a playoff bound team right now. We just don't. Then on top of that, we are broken down with injuries. So now you got to be playing the second string guy that wasn't good enough to be a starter. And people say, well, it shouldn't even matter. They're in the NFL where they get paid. Well, let me tell you, it does matter. Because you take a first string offensive line out there and then you put the next five in behind them and see what kind of production you're going to get. See if it's going to be the same.
Yeah. Hey, now now let
So
me
talent
piggyback on
does
that a little
matter.
bit. Yeah, talent does matter, Tony. You're right, but let me piggyback on that a little bit. And I think you like you said, a lot of people have been out on Bryce since the jump. They didn't want him from the get go. They can't stand him. I hear people talking about his mom, his dad, and I'm just like, nah, but keep it football.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But the
Jesus
thing is
Christ,
though,
man.
yeah, and I think what amplifies it with Bryce is like you said, there is a talent problem on his team in certain areas. But for me, with him, like he's not the only problem, okay? But he is the most not amplified, but on offense, he is our quarterback.
Polarizing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he is the most polarizing problem, on this offense. And like I said, for me, I'm never going to blame him for everything that happens on the team. I'm not going to blame him for all them points that New England put up. Okay. But what I will say is though, he has got to play better in hopes of keeping like last week. You
Facts.
know, plays that and I keep stressing this. I keep stressing this. The plays that were there, even though he had a third string guard playing on those couple plays, especially those fourth down plays where he had a clean pocket and nobody within a couple yards of him and he misses throw. You get what
I
I'm
agree
saying?
with you. Yeah, we
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we can all agree that's the thing that is pissing a lot of people off when you're looking at the game and you're looking at the tape and you're like bro, like come on. My thing is it an issue where the plays that he gets pressure, plays that don't go right, are they messing with him that much that it bleeds over into the plays where everything is good to go and it's just like it's almost like he glitches out or something. You know what I mean? But like I said, he is not the only problem. He's not the only problem, but he definitely is the most polarizing problem. Right now on this team. Okay, we need
Hmm.
linebackers. Okay, my God, we need another free safety. Okay, we need a free safety that can cover, a free safety that knows where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there. Okay, because even in that Atlanta
We had
game.
one. They just ain't playing them.
Thank you. And the crazy thing is, we were talking earlier about the formations. So Evero will
We need the
put
three tech too,
Trayvon
CJ.
Merrick, huh? Yeah, yep. There you go. Exactly. Evero will
We
put
need a three
Trayvon
tech.
Merrick down in the box. It's like that nickel slash big nickel linebacker or whatever. Then
Hmm.
he'll take and put Shao Smith Wade, as a safety. Him and Nick Scott. Okay. And then sometimes it'll be, Nick Scott and Lathan Ransom. And I'm sitting there like, so we still have Demani Richardson, on the field. My thing sometimes is, why don't you have a combination of, you'll take Nick Scott out the game, but then put Shaw Smith Wade back there at safety. You know what I mean? Why not put your other
Yeah.
safety, Monty Richardson back there? and see what he can
Thank
do.
you.
You know
Thank
what I
you.
mean? So, like
Thank
I
you.
said, we have problems. We have issues. We have philosophy issues. We have personnel issues. We have player issues. We have execution issues. And then it's just yeah, and I kept saying that I did not want to hear Dave Canales talk about fundamentals again. But you know what? He's right. The fundamental foundation of this organization is crumbling right now. From top to bottom. I mean, even to the point where y'all hear about the Meow Mix podcast, the Carolina Panthers podcast. They decided they were going to shut their podcast down for a while. They were like, "We gonna spend these Sundays, spending time with our families and our wives." And I'm like, "Dang!" I say, "You know what? I heard that, and I went and read the post they made, and I watched the video too, and I'm like, darn, I can't blame them, because at PPP, I know Tony, it's a lot behind the scenes,
Yes, sir.
doing these darn podcasts. It is a lot. It is a lot.
Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
thank God for me. My wife on the other side of the wall here. She is very accommodating, very understanding, and very helpful. When I say she got my back, 100 grand in all this stuff that I do out here, like she really does. You know what I mean? But just the whole team in general is just, and I will say this: I don't know if it's a situation where we need to do a complete reset. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, Tepper's still going to be here. Okay, I don't know if it's something where we need to do like wipe the slate clean. Now mind you, what Flame for Jesus was saying
This is the
to
reset,
keep
CJ.
no. I'm saying, I'm saying full reset, new operating system, all that good stuff. You switching from Windows 10 to Windows 11. You know what I mean? So my thing is, you get a new GM, a new head coach, you get a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, and then they come in and do what they will with this roster. You know what I mean? Now I'm not saying that would be solve the problem, but that's also an option because we have not had a complete clean reset like that since hell Rule Matt Rule, because Matt Rule, did Fitter and Rule come in together? If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
No,
Yeah.
I think, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I think Matt Rule got here first and Federer came the next year,
Okay.
if I'm not
Yeah. But then
mistaken. I might be
yeah.
mistaken. I might be
Well,
mistaken.
somebody let me know if I'm wrong. But we haven't had a complete, full reset. GM, coaches, all of them come in together. We've had Dave Canals come in, Dan Morgan and Ejiro Evero was here. Dan Morgan came in and we had oh no, hold on. Was it Frank Wright? No, Dan Morgan
Frank,
and Canals came in together. I'm sorry. Dan Morgan and
yeah,
Canals came in. You had Frank Wright that came in with Scott Fitterer. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So yeah.
yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. But
Yeah, I
hey,
just don't think there's oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh well, hold on. Let me real quick and let me catch up on some of these super chats here. Let me see. Flame for Jesus has been lighting it up. Let me see. Thank you for $10 super chat. He said we could have had Stewart or Donovan, and we got Scorton and Princely. When I see who we could have had at the same draft position, then we failed in the draft. Xavier Watts, for example. All right. Thank you for that, Flame. Okay. Thank you for the $2 super chat. So does Tampa Bay have injuries? Are they winning? And I do
Mm.
they do have a few. I know Mike Evans is out, and they just got Chris Godwin back. Thank you for that, Flame. Double O Kane, what's going on with you? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Said for the life of me, I can't understand why Evero don't have Richardson at free safety, Ransom at strong safety, and Mary at a weak side
Exactly.
linebacker instead of strong safety. Dude is clueless. I can agree with that.
That's
I can agree with that.
that's your ultimate dime package right there.
Yeah.
Double
Facts.
okay. You just mentioned the
Facts.
ultimate three safeties, three cornerback package that we should or could be running.
Yeah.
You
All
just
right.
you just thank you, brother.
Yeah, in facts. Hey, shout out to my guy, Mr. Hunky Dory. Mr. Hunky Dory gifted another 10 front office memberships, man. Thank you again, Mr. Hunky Dory. I appreciate you as always. And for everybody who is now gifted a membership for the front office, welcome. Okay, welcome. Come on in and sit down, have a seat, and enjoy this great conversation. All right. And again, Flame for Jesus, my God, thank you for another super chat, man. It's $20. We could have had better edge and safety. We could have drafted an inside linebacker. Great draft. He says, "Yeah, right. No pressures will be here as long as Dan Morgan is here. Stay blessed and stay safe. I'm out." Thank you, Flame.
Hey,
We greatly
CJ,
appreciate you, dog.
CJ,
Yes, sir.
do you remember who I said I felt like should be our top two picks if we picked the number 8?
God, was Walker one of them? Walker and somebody
Jalen
else?
Walker,
Uh-huh.
Michael Williams.
Michael Williams. Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ed
I
or inside linebacker. I was not I was not I didn't feel like we need to go offense with with the number 8 pick in the draft. Even though T Matt looks like he's going to pan out,
mm-hmm.
I'm happy and I'm glad for him. But like I always said, and I want people to remember, we have one of the worst defenses in NFL history.
Facts.
We could stop a
Mm-hmm.
nosebleed. Okay. We gave up more points than anybody in a calendar football year in NFL history. And the first pick, the number 8 pick in the draft, we went out and
Was a
take
wide
a
receiver.
wide receiver. I
Yep.
heard
Yeah.
so many people. I ain't even gonna call no names, because I don't want to start no shit because I ain't on the internet like that. You know what I'm saying? To get into it with them. But there was a lot of podcasters out here that was clamoring for T Mac, and we should draft a wide receiver. That's the smartest decision. Get Bryce weapons, 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 this and that. And I kept telling people, you can get Bryce all the weapons. You can give him the Philadelphia Eagles offense right now. If your
Mm-hmm.
defense is giving up 35 points a game, that means you got to score 36 to win.
That's a fact.
Y'all
That's
ain't
a
hear me.
fact.
If we giving up 35 points a game on defense, the offense
You
got to
better
score
preach.
36.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me bring the fan out again.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Let me
there
get you some
was so
Kool-Aid.
many damn holes in that yacht, which was the defense, that it was sinking. And we didn't even stick a plug in it. We didn't even stick
not
one plug in it.
not the
Mm.
SS Tepper.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yo.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Longer than the
I
Titanic.
understand. I understand that we need to get Bryce weapons and we need to see what he got if you want to take his development to the next level to get the most or the maximum out of him. But you cannot forget about the other two sides of the ball, defense and special teams. And last year we
Yeah.
had one of the most terrific defenses in NFL history. There's no way in the hell if I'm the GM and I'm in charge making a decision on who we draft with the number 8 pick, I would not have taken a wide receiver. Because now you got the wide receiver. He's building his rapport with Bryce. They're going to get their time and things and stuff, things like that down. But your
Mm-hmm.
defense just gave up 42 points. First 2 games of the year, they allowed 200 yards rushing a game. So the same problems that we had last year, we got this year, if not worse.
Can I
That's
say
all
this
I'm saying.
real
Go ahead, Bo Bear.
quick? All right, cheese curdle. Yeah. I agree with Tony. I didn't want to go offense with that first pick because it wasn't the need. And I always say the need of the team dictates the pick. Well, Dan went out there, used it on the wide receiver, and it's still not working out. Let's be totally honest. He hasn't caught one touchdown yet, and we're going into week 5 right now. He's dropped
Mm-hmm.
just as many footballs as Xavier Leggett at this current moment, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he has made some nice plays, but you want to see your first round pick make a difference with your team. And I honestly felt like this was a year that we should have went heavy defense. Um, you could have got an offensive player in the third, fourth round. That you could have. I mean, this draft was loaded with wide receivers and tight ends and stuff, man. So, yeah, I agree with Tony. I think we should have went aggressively at defense when it came down to this draft, man, because the players that we did get in free agency, their time is ticking. And I always tell people free agent acquisitions, they're nothing but band-aids. They're not your long-term situation. So, yeah.
Yeah, we bought it. We went to CVS and cleared them out.
CVS Family Dollar.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Dollar
On,
General.
So
on, on,
can
Ben,
I
on Betty
can I
Ford.
can I add some context to that?
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I
Uh-oh.
believe that Tedderall and
Looking at those
McMillan at 8
microphones.
was the best player necessary. Not you say I'm on the Obama phone? Hold on.
Yeah, he was breaking up.
Is that better? Is that better? Is that
Oh,
better?
yeah, I'm sorry. That's better. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. My
You
Bluetooth in
good.
my car picked up. Yeah. So what I was gonna say is I believe that Tedderall and McMillan was the best pick at the 8th pick, and there wasn't a defensive player that was rated higher on their draft board than he was. So they selected him. But I do agree that defense was the greater need of the team, right?
Yeah.
But and then to say Tedderall and McMillan ain't working out because he dropped a lot of balls off, come on, he's a rookie. And then that goes back to the Panther fandom thing that we got. We in so much pain that everything is painful. Nobody, I mean, you remember DJ Moore was DJ Dropsies his first year as a Carolina Panther. DJ Moore
That's
was known
true.
as DJ Dropsies. So
That's true.
and yeah, he hasn't caught his first touchdown. I got it. You know what I mean? But we gotta be patient with the rookie wide out. I say that. And then the last thing I would say is when it comes to the defense, we tried to fix some stuff in free agency, and free agency is not always a band-aid. I mean, Turt Wharton is not a band-aid. They wanted to keep him, right? There's a lot of players that teams wanted to keep. If we would have got Milton Williams wouldn't have been a band-aid, right? Milton Williams definitely ain't a band-aid
Yeah.
in New England. So we just got to place things in the context when we, our defense, to Tony's point, our defense, man,
Oh, hold on, Will.
we
Amen.
got to do.
Amen.
You
Look at God doing the
you
work.
going out kind of bad right
We-
now, Will.
Look at
Yeah,
God
we
doing His magic work.
All
It's great
right.
work. Because everything Will's saying is wrong. God dang it.
Hey, we'll get that cricket satellite phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch
Yeah.
on this draft,
Wow.
man. I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead,
this,
Draw.
and I kind of touched on it earlier. When we got done with our draft, they rated us with an A+. Okay, so just open the sample size of this draft and look at these players. When we look at Latham Ramsey, we say, "Damn, that's a starter." You get what I'm saying? When you look at Tech McMillan, you say, "Damn, that's a starter." When you look at Nick Scorden and look at how he's getting pressure to the ball, you say, "Damn, that's a starter." So, like I say, we hit and touch on every phase of the game besides offensive line. And I think they addressed the special teams by getting, I thought was Jimmy Horn, which I thought was a great punt returner and special teams type of guy. So I think we basically touched on every phase. Is the kicker a rookie? Or kicker Ricky? The
Yeah,
kicker.
he's rookie Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Yeah.
Undrafted, probably undrafted free agent. On all mainly our draft and undrafted free agents this year has hit. And I say that to say this. It's easy to point out that we could have took a defensive player, but we needed players on all phases of the game. And I don't think going defensive first would have put us in position to able to get every player, every need that we wanted. So
Can I rebut
I
this, please?
think next year, if going defensive heavy wouldn't be, a mistake because I feel like we gained three starters, possibly four with Princely. So uh, I just look at it from that standpoint of saying that, hey, did we hit or did we miss or did we should we win defense? I think we got a something we could build on for us offense and defense. And what we need is depth, talent with depth.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
facts.
think that's
Facts.
the next draft that will allow us to, keep pushing the train along in case, people get hurt. When
Mm-hmm.
people getting hurt, you having undrafted free agents step up when you could have a draft pick step up. So that just think we at that turnover point to now we could draft again and make the necessary steps to be a winning football team. So
Okay.
I feel you.
Um. Yeah, I actually do agree with Driver. I like Lathan Ramsey as well. But no, no.
what happened, man?
Called him, he called him
I,
Ramsey.
I like Lathan Ramsey too, but I I think for this draft,
Leave drive alone, Prime.
I don't know the guy that now. I
Oh
don't know that man.
God.
Hey, hey,
Oh man.
hey, man.
Hold on,
You
we.
get the drill.
Hey,
Oh,
driver, it's ransom. It's
Oh,
ransom. You called him
ransom.
Ramsey.
Is ransom like yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, I got it.
Lathan ransom.
Oh, okay, okay.
I couldn't hold it in, man. I had to say something, man.
Man, you could
Oh,
correct me, man. Hey, man.
no,
Hey,
I
man.
wasn't
I
gonna
don't
say that.
know.
I was fine until Pastor Bowberry did that. I wasn't
Yeah,
gonna say
oh
man.
to let you
God.
have it.
Golly, my
He,
bad,
he,
P,
You
man. I
know
don't
you
Prime
know.
would not
good,
let
man.
me.
You
He would
good.
not let me chuckle in peace. He had to bring it up. Oh God.
Hey,
God damn.
shout out to Nerve Ash for the $5 super chat. He said, I understand what you're saying about Bryce earlier, but I don't think you can say someone isn't a real fan if they don't like Bryce. I got you. I got you.
Well, let,
Uh,
let me let me respond to
Go
that,
ahead, Tone.
CJ
Go ahead,
Navas.
Tone.
When I say that, Navas, when you constantly hear everything, when it comes to losing, every loss that we have had, all you hear a lot of people, and I'm not saying that everybody, I'm saying a lot of people, all they want to do is blame it on Bryce. When Bryce plays good and we win, you never hear Bryce name mentioned. It always, oh well, they defense didn't play their starters in the fourth quarter, or they were playing prevent defense, or those were garbage time yardage, and it's always an excuse. So what I'm saying, Nervaz, is from the beginning that we drafted Bryce, and I know that you are on a lot of different podcasts and listen to them because I've seen you there and I know you've heard this. These people have been bashing Bryce since day one before he even took a snap. They have been bashing Bryce from day one until this day. And no matter what the team does, win or lose, if we win, Bryce had nothing to do with it. And if we lose, Bryce had everything to do with it. So I'm saying to those people, if the shoe don't fit, don't put it on. But I'm saying for those people, in my opinion, aren't true Panther fans. That's what I meant. So if I need to clarify that, that there it is for you.
Yeah. Hey, and shout out to Nervash for
Well
another
said,
$5
sir.
super chat. He said, I love Cam since the first game he played as a rookie, and Bryce never gave me that feeling in over 2 years. I don't really care if that isn't fair. Yeah, and we got you, Nervash. But I do gotta agree with Tony on that one though, because that was something that kind of bothered me about it as well. Because, you know, down the stretch of last season, and I think this is what's pissing me off so much about Bryce this year, as so far this year as well, because we've seen him be able to, to be able to take the team down the field, put us in the position
Mm-hmm.
to win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, and the thing is, like Tony was saying, in the in the Bucks game, okay, in the Bucks game, all right, Bryce took us down the field, hit Adam Thielen for a touchdown. I think it was like under a minute left. All right, what did the defense do? They let him go right back down the field and get a field goal, and then Chuba fumbled in overtime. Okay, and then the
Yep.
next day you'll hear everything about what Bryce did wrong. Okay, then you get to the Arizona game. Okay, Arizona, Bryce does the same thing. He takes us down the field. All right, puts us in a position to win with less than a minute left. All right, and then Arizona goes kicks a field goal, ties it up, goes into overtime. Now, mind you, um Arizona got the ball first. Defense stepped up. All right, got us the ball back, and then Chuba did his walk off TD. But then we won that game. But then when you hear everybody talking about it the next day or that week, well, not everybody, but like the people that Tony specifically mentioned, like the true, like, I hate Bryce no matter what, folks. It was always, oh well, this happened and that happened, and things like that. It's always a when Bryce won, when not Bryce, when the team won, it was always something that happened, and Bryce had nothing to do with it. But yeah. Oh, and he hold on, Nervous said, I think you're right about the nuance of most elements of team being bad, but at some point you as a QB have to elevate the talent around you. And I'm glad you said that, Nervous. I'm glad you said that, because that's the problem that I'm having with him now. Okay, that's the problem I'm having with him now, because like I keep saying, on them plays where your offensive line is not blocking, because there was quite a few of them in the I about to say Tampa Bay, in the New England game. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, Bryce dropped back 30 times and had pressures on
Mm-hmm.
18 of his dropbacks. So the offensive line was not playing up to tip top shape in New England. But the thing is, when you got time and there are plays to be made, you have to make those plays, because that margin of error is it's like this. You know what I mean? If it, now,
Yeah.
mind you, if we could depend on the defense to go out there and look like they did versus Atlanta every game, that margin of error is like this. Then you have time, to
Right.
like in Atlanta, we got a score on the first drive. We got field goal, field goal, field goal. Got another score, another field goal, and then the defense stepped up and got a touchdown. That margin of error is like this. But like I said, but now this year the thing that's kind of pissing me off about him is like the margin of error is like this. And when you got those plays have to be made. So like I
Yeah.
said, that's
I
that's my
agree.
spill on it.
I agree. And this ain't even my show. This is CJ show. But ever since we started podcasting, we came into this, and when Carolina drafted Bryce, we for day one we always say we wanted CJ Stroud. We always let that be known. That was before the pick came in or whatever. We was CJ Stroud fans. My
Yeah.
whole thing with the Bryce thing. And Nervash, I like the comment, the last comment that you made about the quarterback has to elevate the talent around him. Now, this is what
Mm-hmm.
I would say. There has been times where he has done that, but it hasn't been consistent. And I think that's what a lot of people want to see, that you want that consistency from your quarterback week in and week out.
Yeah.
There's about 5 or 6 plays that me and CJ talked about that was strictly bonehead plays by Bryce last week. No, you can't put it on nobody else but him. His decision
Mm-hmm.
making, his
Facts.
footwork, and on some of them throws was just horrible. They were horrendous. We ain't got no problem saying that. But what kills me, this is the thing that irks me the most. when we get on these podcasts or other people get on their podcasts and they spend hours talking about Bryce Young, like football is the ultimate team sport, and there's 22 people that start. 11 on offense, 11 on defense, and all people want to do is single out that one player. He can't uplift the defense. He
Can I
can
tell you
do
why? Can
all
I
that
tell you
he
why, Tony?
can. He can do all that we want him to do on offense, but he has no control of uplifting the talent on defense. He can't make these
Uh,
guys tackle better. He can't make these guys gap sound better. He can't make them better man coverage. He can't go out there and run a cover two for them on defense. He can't do none of that. So that's all. That's all that CJ and I have ever said ever since Bryce Young came to Carolina. Listen, he has his faults. There's some things that we don't like, and there's some things that we do like. But it gotta be at some point in time in your fandom, you gotta be honest with yourself and say that there are other things besides Bryce Young that is wrong with this team.
Facts. Hey, and real quick, shout out to Miss Hunky Dory for the $2 super chat. He said, "If we had no injuries, how much better would we be?" Mm, yeah, that's a good
I
question.
don't know. That's
That's a
a
damn good question.
that's $1 million question.
Yeah.
That's a million
I
dollar
think
question
I
because
think we. Oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I didn't mean to cut somebody off. But
No, go ahead real
I
quick,
think that
Will.
we probably would be one game. I think we'd be one. We would have won one of those games that we lost if we didn't have the
Mm,
injuries that we have. And another thing that people are saying now about Bryce Young, that's the craziest thing I ever think I've ever heard somebody say about a rookie, a quarterback on a rookie deal. He don't have the team ready to play on Sunday. So now
mm.
he's responsible for coaching and
Mm.
getting the team prepared to play on Sunday. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah, nah, that's not up to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only thing I can say, man, and like I say, a lot of people, you know,
don't
would
don't you say
would touch it.
Ramsey. Don't say that.
No, no, no. Yeah, I think it's ransom. They'll just say last name. It's ransom, right? Yeah, I want to.
I
I
just
think.
bet you.
Hey, man, I got you, man. I got you. But yeah, man, I think right now we just dealing with injuries and that's just a testament of to I think that we went out and signed Hunter Renfro, and I hate that he's getting pushed into a role that I just think he's not ready yet. Wasn't ready for yet. So um it just we right now I think we just dealing with injuries, but I'm glad some of those injuries that we got some players could come back from, which is XL and Coker, probably not this week, but they say next week. So I think that'll give our offense a lot of more playmakers. So I think that's really, everybody just waiting on the offense to show consistencies. And I think right now it's hard to win when you dealing with, third and fourth string wide receivers. So um I just think, we just need to be a little patient and kind of look at, this next quarter of the season. And I think that'll kind of tell well, we need to be talking about drafting or whatnot. Cause I don't really like talking about that till I know it's over. But I think people
Gotcha.
kind of just, trigger happy because we've been in
Mm.
the first round every year. And that's another thing, man. I think people so caught up into this draft and drafting and draft this player we should have drafted, or that player we should have drafted. I mean, man, we fans. We don't have
Mm.
no, decision in it. And if we would have drafted CJ Stroud and probably drafted all the players we probably liked it, what if the coaching went right? You know what I'm saying? And you can't say, well, we was gonna have good coaching. What good coaching we done had consistently on offense? Ron Rivera was a great defensive coach. At that time, we was looking for offense. We were looking for a quarterback. It wasn't that we was just terrible on defense or bad offensive play, or you get what I'm saying? We had no identity. So
Mm-hmm.
my point is
Well,
this: until we get gang identity, some form, whether that's on the offense or on the defense, we shouldn't really pressure ourselves to worry about just focus on the quarterback or focus on just thinking we're gonna go to the playoffs or having these expectations. Everybody do have them, but we just got to keep it real with ourselves, and that's what I think a lot of people just missing.
Okay, I got you. Gotcha. Hey, shout out to Miss Hunky Dory for the other $2 super chats, and also both offense and defense not aggressive. But hold on a second though. Roadmaster. No sir. Absolutely said Coca can't catch a ball thrown. Oh, you know what? Never mind. My apologies. I read that wrong. I thought you said that Coca can't catch. My bad. My bad. Let me take that comment off the screen. I'm sorry, sir. My apologies. My apologies. Oh Lord. Hey, but I was gonna say, y'all, I appreciate the conversation today. I can't lie, I wasn't expecting all this today, but it was damn sure good to hear. Damn sure good to hear. A lot of great opinions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of scenarios, and I appreciate everybody for coming up here. But real quick though, before we get up out of here, if y'all are listening and you haven't heard me say this, I am giving away 2 tickets to the Miami game tomorrow. Okay. If you want to just enter for a chance to win the tickets to the Miami game, the Cash App is right here at Armchair GMCJ. Okay. Send me $10 to the Cash App. I'll put your name on the wheel here just for the Miami game. All right. On YouTube, I have another membership tier that's called Code GM. If you want to sign up for that one, that is $10, and it will enter you to win these tickets I got here today and the tickets later on in the month for the Buffalo Bills game. Okay, so if you go and join the membership on YouTube, Code GM, it will enter you for this game tomorrow, which I'm giving away here in a minute, and the Buffalo Bills game at the end of the month. Okay. But yeah, man, like I said, I appreciate everybody in the chat. Okay. Flame for Jesus, thank you for lighting the super chats up. For the gifted memberships, Mr. Hunky Dory as well, Nervash, double okay. Hold on, let me make sure I thank everybody that has sent me a super chat today. Let me see. Nick became a member of Co-GM, Big Mo for the super chat. And Torres is a new member, Panther Dog. Let me see. M. Atia. Okay. Let me see who else. SC Panthers boy. Make sure I get everybody, every single person here. Let me see. Double O Kane, Mr. Hunky Dory. Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate all y'all. Appreciate all y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. And let me go ahead and check this here real quick. But if I don't have anything else, I am going to go ahead and oh, hold on. Let me add a name on here. All right. Kiana Stitt, if you're watching, I'm adding you on here right now. Let's see. Should I spell this right? Okay. All right. So, but because before I do this, Ralph, before we get up out of here, man. Oh, you know what? And let me tell you, before everybody left, I did not get to this here as well. Okay. Score prediction, cuz score prediction. What you think?
Dang, can I take a push on this one?
Nope.
Damn. Yeah, hopefully I'm praying that we rebound from that ass whooping that we took in New England. I hope that we take advantage of the fact that Tyreek Hill is down. Um, I hope that we apply pressure to Tua, because he's not a mobile quarterback. He I mean him and Bryce are to me are almost similar like twins when it comes to playing the
Mm-hmm.
quarterback position. Um so I hope that we apply pressure and get to him. And I just think that I hope that the boys have a better game. We are playing at home. So I'm gonna go Carolina 17, Miami 14.
Okay. Hey, and T Green, I appreciate you becoming a member. And I don't know if you wanted to get into the entry for the tickets. If so, it's the other tier, it's the co-GM tier. If not, I still appreciate you becoming a member, and thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me get into my prediction here, and I see hold on, I see a lot of people in the comments here, and let me get back to live. Hey, appreciate you deep driving. It's a great show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. T Green says 23-20 Panthers. Mr. Hunky Dory says 25-20 Panthers. Okay. Um, let me see. Rashak. I hope I'm saying that right. Or Rashak. Panthers 24, Miami 17. Okay. Well, y'all, I am not going with the masses today. I say Miami's gonna beat us 30-16. Okay. And
Ooh,
yeah, man. And I like I said, and I'm going based off of last week. I hope that the Panthers can get their act right offensively and defensively. Okay. But if we had that much problems, or I'm sorry, that many issues, that many problems with a few jet sweep and mixed direction plays that the Patriots ran, think about what Miami is going to come in here and do to us as far as misdirection. Okay, then you got Devin A Chain
yeah,
out there, Jalen Waddle, even missing Tyreek Hill. Look at the play they
yeah.
did last week where Tua did the little the little behind the back flip to my man Robinson. I forgot his first name. And he took it around for a first down. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. If this defense is not ready to play tomorrow at the bank, I mean, I will be there. I will be there. I'll be cheering or talking shit, one or the other. Probably both. But yeah, if they don't get their act right, let me tell you, I said this earlier this week, and I was like, if I was Mike McDaniel, I'm looking at this Panther team, and I'm like, yo, I got every misdirection play in my playbook on deck, and at the first sign that I got these jokers going one way and not being able to get back where they're at, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. It's a wrap. So, but yeah. But I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to go with the Panthers going down again on this one, 30-16. Yeah. Okay. Got you, T Green. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okay. All right. Well, let me do this real quick. All right. And let me go ahead and see. There we go. Okay. All right. So got this. And let me go ahead and do the ticket. So we got Kiana Stitt, Prowling Veteran Podcast. That's Nick and Torres, Panther Dog, Demarcus Outing, Ashley Baylor, and M. Atia. Okay. So let me go ahead and spin this. Hey, Ashley Baylor. All right. Congratulations. Not
Congratulations.
congratulations, but congratulations. All right, I'll make sure I reach out to you. Send me an email. Let me put it in the chat. thearmchairgmcj@gmail.com. Okay, make sure I spell that right. All right, and send me your information and where I can send the tickets to you at. Okay. But cuz any last thoughts before we get up out of here?
Oh man, like I said, I just hope that these boys rebound and we get back to playing like how we played against Atlanta. You know,
Mm-hmm.
proving that that game was not just an anomaly. That we are capable of playing good football. You know what I'm saying? That
Okay.
was like that was the standard from that point forward that everybody was going to hold the team to, and then for them to go out the following week against New England and wet the bed like that, like they put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like we went from a game where we dominated all three phases of the game to the game where we got beaten all three phases of the game. That's not good. So hopefully they find this recipe that they're trying to put together comes together, and make a good pot of gumbo, and the boys can eat the rest of the season going forward. But just a lot of inconsistency with this team, along with other things that are causing the inconsistencies. But at the end of the day, they got to put it together. That's just the bottom line. They got to put it together.
Big facts. Big facts. Okay. All right, y'all. Again, as always, I appreciate everything and everybody. Shout out to everybody who threw a super chat my way. I appreciate the love and support. Shout out to everybody that entered for the chance to win the tickets. Shout out to the new co-GM. Shout out to the new members of the front office. All right. I appreciate the love and support. Trying to get back to doing my members Mondays. You know what? And and for the last 2 weeks, I have been on posting a video on TikTok of me going to work, singing the song as it relates to the game. So when we beat the Atlanta Falcons, I was going down Statesville singing Tell the DJ Bring It Back by 8 Ball and MJG. So then last week, I did the same thing and I was singing Let It Go by Teddy Pendergrass. But in each one of them I kind of put my own lyrics in there. So y'all check out my TikTok page and see what's gonna be on the next karaoke song for this. It'll be Tuesday because I'll be going in on Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday when it come out. So y'all see. Hopefully, something I can go out here and talk some junk with instead of another sad love song. All right. But again, I appreciate everybody. I thank you for the love and support. Okay. Let me see. Shout out to all the members. All right, and you can catch me on all social media at Armchair GMCJ. All right, and again, I'm gonna leave y'all with 3 things as always. Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. I'll see you.